Well, good evening, folks, or good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Quincy Kane here, and this is live stream number 87. And for this stream, I'm going to be taking requests. If you look in the description, you can find my song list. And whatever song you'd like me to play, just let me know, and I'll play that song just for you. This is also going to be a Q&A, so whatever questions you have, go ahead and ask away, and I'll answer them. It can be music-related questions. It can be, just questions you're curious about, or whatever topic, movies, video games, skateboarding, whatever topic you'd like to discuss, you can ask questions and we can kind of dive into that. Jack, good to have you in the chat. I do appreciate you voting. Yeah, just so everyone knows, long story short, I've entered in a Tony Hawk contest. I've been in this contest for like the past month, and it's run by voting. I've had to share this link for people to vote, and I didn't think it was going to happen, but I have made it to the quarterfinals, which I'm pretty surprised. I'm surprised I've made it this far, and so I'd like to just see how far I can go. Right now, I'm currently in 4th place. This has definitely been the toughest bit so far, but I really appreciate all the people who have taken the time to vote for me. Super easy. I've already posted a link in the chat. I'll go ahead and post another link right there. There's the link, and yeah, you just click the link, and that'll take you to a page. You'll see there is a free daily vote. You just click that link. You verify you're a real person with your Facebook account, and that's it. It takes less than a minute. You get a free vote, and you can vote every 24 hours. So if you really want to help me out, if you could save the link and then try to vote once every day, that would really help. Or, follow one of my social media pages, and I've been trying to post, especially Facebook, been trying to post to kind of keep people notified. So, Jack, I really do appreciate the support. Jack says, no problem. I'm hoping you can pull out the win. I'm hoping too. I thought it was over, like, about a week ago or something. And so I kind of, I thought it was over. I thought, oh, I didn't make it. I didn't make it to the quarterfinals. And so I'd already kind of made peace with all right, it didn't happen, but it was just for, when I first entered, I wasn't expecting to win anyway. It was just kind of sure, why not? It seemed easy enough to sign up, and I thought, if I get lucky, that'd be awesome. And then it turned out it would require voting, so I was like, oh, great, I'm going to lose to some guy who's got a huge following on social media. But to my surprise, I was not doing that bad in the rankings, so I was like, maybe I got a shot. And so the more I've kind of invested in it, the more I'm like, man, I'm doing it. So now I'm kind of in it to win it. But I'm definitely, I'm not... it's already been nice. Already, the best thing to come out of this experience has been the people. Just seeing how many people have my back. I'm such a dreamer. I just love to fantasize, and I'm pursuing a career in music because it's what I love to do, and there are other people who do it, so why can't I? And so that's just who I am. And sometimes it's hard to be that person. Sometimes it's hard to have these dreams that you're kind of, you kind of expect everyone around you just to say, wake up, that's not going to happen, get real. And so to enter in a contest like this and just see how many people want it for me, they're not just saying, yeah, that'd be cool, but it's probably not going to happen. They're like, come on, yeah, let's make this happen. Let's do it. That's just been so, I'm just so grateful for that, and that's been the best thing to come out of this, is just to see how many people are rooting for me and care about what I want. I don't have to be ashamed of dreaming for something like this. And so to anyone who has taken the time to vote, I really do appreciate it. I'm super grateful, and it's already that alone has just been, a great prize. So even if I don't win, I've already gained so much from this stupid little contest, So thank you so much. Jack, how's your week been, man? Anything, I've kind of, asked how you've been, but, anything fun or eventful happened lately? Anything coming up that you're excited for? I know it's summer, and, some people have plans in the summer and stuff, so I don't know if there's anything particularly that you are excited about. And, Jack or anyone else who's just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And if you've got a question or a request, let me know. This is a requestion stream, so you can ask questions and I'll answer them for you. Whatever you're curious about, just let me know, and I'll do my best to answer. If there's something you'd like to learn, especially about music or video stuff, videography, editing, movie making, that kind of stuff. If you have any questions, let me know, and we can discuss them. Or just anything you'd like to learn about me that you don't know, let me know, and we can dive into that stuff. And while we're at it, I'd love to learn more about you guys. I really appreciate you all watching, but it is true, this relationship over the internet, it's not quite the same as meeting someone in person. You don't just see the face and like, oh yeah, I know who that is. You kind of have to remember the usernames, and you're trying to remember these things about them. And so, so I'd love to learn more about you guys, what you like to do for fun, and what you're passionate about, and all that stuff. So maybe we can dive into some of that. So yes, if you've got a question, ask away. If you'd like to hear a song, go ahead and make a request. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play an instrumental. So this is one that is not listed in the song. I've got a few instrumentals that they're technically not finished songs, but they're just like some fun instrumentals to kind of play. So. This is a tough one, but I'm going to try it out for you guys. So, I'm going to go ahead and play an instrumental for you. But by all means, if you have a request, just look in the description, and you can see my song list, and just let me know which song, even if you haven't heard it. If you're like, if the title just sounds interesting, just let me know which one sticks out to you, and I'll play it just for you. Or if you've got a question, let me know, and I will answer that question for you. So, all right, here's an instrumental. Hope you like it. Thank you. All right, let me catch up with the chat. Let's see here. Jack says, haven't heard from my doctor after this week's test. No news is good news, eh? And yesterday I was awarded a nice prize at a social group I'm a leader in, so that was a nice surprise. That's awesome. Glad you were awarded for something like that. And yeah, I do hope everything with the doctor goes well. I'll definitely, I'll remember to pray about that, man. I'll remember to kind of pray that. Thank you for the applause. That all that will be okay. So. Still using a cane for balance when I walk, but at least I'm still walking. Yeah, that's great. And that's a good way to look at it. I'm glad you've got kind of a positive mindset, because I think it's so easy to kind of defeat ourselves. Like, something can be bad, and sometimes, I don't know why, it almost, in a weird way, it almost feels good to just kind of pin yourself down for some reason, to just kind of discourage yourself and say it can't happen and things are going to get worse. But that just, that's kind of what happens. Belief is such a strong thing. Like, what you believe is going to happen is probably what's going to happen. And so if you're believing those negative things about yourself, like, then yeah, things probably are going to kind of spiral downward, But if you have that positive mindset, it's amazing. I think we often underestimate what we're capable of. And so, Jack, definitely don't underestimate what you're capable of, because I think you're capable of so much more than what you might give yourself credit for. And so whatever challenge you're currently facing, I know you can overcome it. I know you'll persevere. So just hang in there. And I'm hoping and wishing and praying the best for you. But glad to hear that things are hanging in there and things are looking good. So awesome, man. Anyone else who's tuning in, don't be shy. Just say hello. If you've got a question, go ahead and leave it. I'll try my best to answer. And if you'd like to make a song request, my songs are in the description, so feel free to make a request. Jack, I've got a question for you. I've actually asked this to a few other regulars on my streams, but I've been doing these streams at 6 o'clock for a while, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Which, first off, I might ask, are you East Coast or are you in a different time zone? I live in Virginia, so my time zone is Eastern Standard Time. I've been doing these streams at 6 o'clock, but I am actually considering starting them at a later time because it does seem that people do tend to show up later, like probably around 6:30 and maybe even, well, hey, look, we got Daniel here. So, hey, Daniel, good to see you. Later at like 6:30 or 7 o'clock, that's when a lot of people do seem to kind of start tuning in. So I am considering starting these streams maybe at a later time. And so I'd be curious to hear your feedback of that, Jack. If I were to start these at 6:30 or 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, would that be good for you? Do you like the current time? Would you prefer a later time? I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that. Daniel, hope you're doing well. How's your week been, man? And just so you know, you probably heard me talking just now. I was kind of asking Jack about these stream times, and based off of the feedback I've gotten so far, I think I'm definitely going to push it to 6:30, and I'm kind of deciding if I'm going to go to 7 o'clock or not. So I don't know if I'm going to go. Still on the fence about going to 7 o'clock, but I'm pretty sure I am going to shift it to at least 6:30. So I'm still kind of trying to make that decision. But Daniel, anything fun or eventful happened lately? How's your summer going so far? Any plans for the summer? Fill me in, man. Daniel says it's been good getting ready for the 4th. Yeah, going to be crazy here. I'm sure that's going to be fun. Any special plans for the 4th of July, or is it pretty standard, kind of what you do? Me, I've got a big family, so I just kind of I just fall in with what everyone else is doing. Pretty much my family's like, hey, here's what we're doing for the 4th of July, and I'm like, okay, I'll be there. So it's kind of that simple. I don't really make plans for the 4th. My only plan is just to be with my family. And Mom was chatting. I'm not sure what the plan is this year. I'm sure we will try to go somewhere where we can see fireworks. I think she was saying something about just having a picnic at the park. And we're probably going to do it in the evening, let the kids play on the playground, and then when it gets dark, I think there are usually fireworks in that vicinity. But then it sounded like plans might change based on everyone else. I'm not really sure, so I don't know for sure. But yes, the 4th of July is coming. It's actually quite close. It's less than a week away. And Jack said, "Thanks so much, bud. I think you're all caught up." And yep, I do think I'm caught up with the stream and stuff. And let's see here. No special plans. I always work on just about every holiday you can think of imaginable. Well, man. Hopefully while you're at work, you can still see a few fireworks or something. But yeah, do hope that is all right. Now, when you were saying getting ready for the 4th, did you maybe mean like I didn't know if you meant plans for celebrating the 4th, or are you going to be busy on the 4th because of work? I'm sure it could be either of those situations if you are going to be working on the 4th. It is kind of funny. The 4th falls on a Tuesday, and Tuesdays are kind of like Tuesdays are already my free day. Now, it's not a free day, but what I mean is like I don't have any obligations on Tuesday, so that's usually the day I'll use to like get a lot done. Like especially if I'm going to be like recording or songwriting or shooting a video or something like that. Tuesdays are really good days for that. And so I'm kind of like, darn it, why couldn't it be on like, a day where I do have obligations so I can take off? It's like Tuesday's already my off day. So, but oh well, I'll be okay. Let's see here. Jack says Eastern Standard Time as well. I unfortunately am only able to hang around until like 7:45, 8 o'clock. So whatever works best for you, I'm cool with. I'm a Canuck, so our Canada Day is on July 1st. Oh, that's cool. So for you, it's coming up even sooner. Very cool. So yeah, it sounds like as far as like the streams go, it does seem. Here's kind of my end of it is usually the beginning of the stream will have, maybe 1 or 2 people or something, not very many. And then like an hour later, people kind of start showing up. And I feel like that's when like the real stream begins. And then I almost end up kind of dragging it out longer because it's like, oh, well, now it's getting good, and so I'm kind of thinking like if I could start it that way to begin with, then, rather than me, dragging it out just because it's starting to get good, I could just stream as long as it starts. But I'll keep that in mind. So, the one thing is, let's see. If it was like 7:45 or 8 o'clock, you would be participating when hopefully everyone else is showing up. So it wouldn't just be like you alone in the chat or just, usually Stan's here. Stan actually went to visit Niagara Falls. Our church had a trip this week, and he was a part of that and went to see Niagara Falls, and so they're on their way back. So he's probably not going to be in this stream this evening because he's traveling today. But usually Stan's pretty good about showing up and stuff. But with that said, I am thinking, maybe 6:30, kind of leaning forward towards that. I almost think 6:45 would be a good time, but I feel like 6:45 is such a weird time. I don't know why. Like I feel like either 30s or O's, are like good times. If the stream starts at 6:45, I feel like that's such an odd time to start at. But I don't know. Maybe that's what I need to do. Daniel says, I'll be busy on the 4th. I work in the grocery industry. The 4th, Thanksgiving, Christmas are kind of like the Black Friday of the grocery industry. So I have to prep for work. Yeah, that makes sense. So that's going to be busy. Yep. I imagine that there's quite a bit that goes into all of that, but cool. Well, I think I'm going to play another song here. I'm just going to pull out another instrumental, but anyone who's just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And if you'd like to ask a question, we're doing a Q&A, so whatever questions you have, they can be music related, they can be about something else. Ask your questions away. If it's something you'd like to learn, about music or movie making or whatever it might be, let me know and I'll do my best to answer, or just something you're curious about. And if you'd like to request a song, my song list is in the description, so you can make a request and I'll play the song just for you. So I don't know about you guys. There's a few movies coming out this year. I love movies, and so but I'm a little disappointed. So the first movie that came out that I was really looking forward to this year was John Wick Chapter 4. So I don't know if you guys have kept up with the John Wick series, but definitely one of my favorite action movie series. But John Wick 4 was awesome. That was such a good movie. So loved that. Indiana Jones comes out tomorrow, and I love Indiana Jones, and I was so excited. And I know the 4th movie was a little disappointing, and so I was kind of hoping that this could be like it didn't have to be amazing, just a good, solid redemption film, just so the Indiana Jones franchise could end on a good note. But from what I've heard so far from reviews, it sounds like there are good parts, but I think the overall thing just kind of, I forgot for a moment that Indiana Jones is Lucasfilms, and Lucasfilms is now owned by Disney, and unfortunately, I think Disney has been too involved in their movies in a way where they haven't really put out any great films lately, and so like I remembered that, and I was like, oh no, I had such high hopes for this film, and I'm on the fence. Obviously, like I still need to see it for myself to judge it for myself, but I'm not really sure. Like, I'm probably gonna have to find like a discount day or something to go see it. I don't know if I'm gonna spend like too much money and too much time, going to see it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll end up liking it. But there's a few trusted reviewers that I really like, and unfortunately they didn't have like the best reviews of that particular movie. So my next hope is, I think at the end of July, the next Mission Impossible comes out, and that's been a franchise that I think has just gotten better as it's gone along. I love Mission Impossible, and the last movie, Mission Impossible Fallout, was awesome, and so I love action adventure. That's my favorite genre. So these are all good old action movies, but I'm very hopeful for the next Mission Impossible, and that's coming out soon. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I don't know if you guys are looking forward to any movies, if there's anything you are excited that's coming out soon. If so, let me know. Let me know what you're excited about. Or if you've seen anything good, if you've watched anything, a movie or a show or whatever it might be. If you've played any video games lately, let me know what you guys have seen recently and what you've enjoyed. So I'm going to go ahead and play an instrumental here. Again, if anyone has a request, just have a look at my song list in the description, and I'll play that song just for you. Let's see here. All right, here's another instrumental. Hope you like it. I just totally drew a blank. I could not remember how to play that last little bit. Let me figure that out. Hadn't played that one in a while. Let's see. It's yeah. Is that right? Oh, there we go. Let me try that again. Not the whole thing, just that last little bit. There we go. Perfect, right? Just pretend that other bit didn't happen, you know. All right, let's catch up with the chat. All righty here. Still sounded great. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. Yeah, Jack was saying, I watched the Critical Drinkers review of the latest Indiana Jones, and it sounds like the filmmakers are doing Indy dirty. Yeah, he's a good reviewer. My favorite reviewers, I really like Jeremy Johns. I don't know if you watch him either, but he kind of, he pointed out like the good bits. It sounds like the first 20 minutes of the movie are like really good, and then it kind of sounded like some things happened that just kind of, I don't know, just, yeah, doesn't do Indiana service, and it's a shame. It sounds like the best thing about the movie is John Williams' score, which, that man, like, never does wrong. That man, one of the greatest composers ever, not even just for film, just in general. But so it does, if anything, like, probably the best thing to come out of a new Indiana Jones movie is, some new John Williams music. But yes, it sounded just a little, I mean, the way he rated it was kind of, forgettable, and like just not, not very standout and stuff. And I like Chris Stuckman also. He's another reviewer I like. But Chris Stuckman is he's actually directing a film of his own, and which is awesome. I'm glad he's gotten the opportunity to make a movie. And on the bright side, ever since he's kind of started making a movie himself, I think he's kind of gained an appreciation for movies and sort of decided that he doesn't want to be too harsh of a critic anymore because he knows like what goes into making a movie. And so he doesn't rate movies anymore, and he tries to review movies that that he thought were good. Like he's trying not to say anything negative about any movies, and like he'll be honest. And so even his review of Indiana Jones, like he kind of pointed out like the positives, like some good things, but he did sound a little defensive, and that's the only thing. It's like I can appreciate that. I can appreciate respecting a film and what is it? Trying to understanding what goes into it, because I do think sometimes people are hard on movies. We can be so critical, and you're like, making a movie is really hard. So, but I don't think for a movie like that, I don't think the issue is with. These are really talented filmmakers who had the resources. If anything went wrong with this movie, it was probably, like the producers getting too involved, just setting too many limitations or forcing certain things that have to be. Abe the Band, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. Now, by Abe the Band, should I just call you Abe? Is that your name? I know I've just met you. I saw you on some of the other streams with like Dom and Chad and those folks. So I don't know if Abe is the name you go by or if that's just your username. But good to have you. We're discussing movies right now, and then I'm going to play a few songs in a moment. Talking about the latest Indiana Jones. Unfortunately, yeah, Abe is good. All right, cool. Sounds good. I was really looking forward to the new Indiana Jones, but some of the reviewers that I watch and trust sounded like it didn't, sounds like they didn't quite do the movie justice or the series justice. So Jack was saying, watched the recent remake of Hellraiser, didn't find it all that good. I think I'd seen the original Hellraiser, and it was okay. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's what I'm into, but from my understanding, it sounds like the first one was probably the best film. I think there were a few sequels, and I was familiar with the remake, but I don't think I'd seen that one. Jack says, I'd like A Place to Call Home. Really like your version. Well, thank you. Now, by my version, I don't, as far as I understand, my version's the only version, unless you're just saying you like that song and how I do it. I'm sure there are other songs called A Place to Call Home, but, wrote it. Quincy messed up. Oops. Yeah, that's right. Yep. I totally drew a blank on that instrumental. Hadn't played it in a while and just like could not remember where my fingers went for that one spot. Daniel's requesting, let's hear Into the Unknown. You've got the backdrop for it. Yeah, actually, I think this is the same color palette I probably used for the video I shot for that one. So I never trust movie critics. You're not wrong about that. You have to see a movie for yourself, but and I don't listen to all critics, there's a couple critics I like that have kind of been tried and true that normally my opinion is in line with them. So I like to watch them first just to kind of know what to expect. And, but you're right that you do have to see a movie for yourself. You can't just go off of the critics. That's why, like, for this one, like, I'm probably still going to go see it. But I'm definitely going to have lower expectations going into it, which might be a good thing, because it might surpass lower expectations. If I think the expectations I had about it were probably way too high. I mean, I love Indiana Jones, the original trilogy, definitely some of my favorites. And so, definitely, had high hopes for it, but it, I'll still have to see it for myself and see. So maybe going in with lower expectations, I'll still be able to enjoy it and, find like the good in it, But hey, thanks for tuning in. If you've got a question about anything, it could be music related or about movies or anything you're curious about learning or whatever it might be, just let me know. I'll answer that question for you. And if you'd like to request a song, there's a link in the description. My song list is in the description, and you can you feel free to request whatever song you see in the list there. They're all original songs of mine. I usually end up like stuff that is rated 3 out of 10 and hate 9 out of 10 movies, but it all depends. That is true, and that's why I think, like, when it comes to critics, you're absolutely right about that. There's a lot of movies I like that are kind of in, like, the 6 out of 10 kind of area, and but I love them, and I think it's why what is it? That's why it's kind of nice, like, if you can find a reviewer who shares a similar taste in music in movies as you, then you can kind of get a better sense. But even the reviewers I watch, I don't always agree with them. Sometimes they'll say something about a movie. They'll say it's great, and then I'll go in and yeah, it's like, it was okay, it was fine. Or vice versa. They'll say that a movie wasn't that great, and I'll be like, really? I liked it, So, yeah, you always take it with a grain of salt. But I do agree that, like, overall, critics, like, I don't really agree with all critics. It's just a handful that I like, because there's plenty of times where people will build up this movie like, yeah, this was like an amazing film, and I'll go to watch it and be like, I mean, it was good, but I'm probably not going to watch it again, and then vice versa, where something's kind of decent, it's like, it was just a feel-good movie. That was fun. I enjoyed it, so yes, I totally agree with that. You can take it all with a grain of salt, but at the end of the day, you got to kind of know what you like and kind of assess it for yourself. Jack says, sorry, bud, I think I messed up the song, but would still like to hear A Place to Call Home. Into the Unknown is your version of the song from Frozen 2. No, that's correct. Yeah, Into the Unknown is the cover song. Yeah, everything else is original. Into the Unknown is my cover of Frozen 2. So I'll go ahead and play that, since that's the one you meant, and since that's the one that Daniel requested. And then I'll play A Place to Call Home in a moment. Abe says, I'm just sitting here at work. Saw you go live. I'll check out the music. Well, let me go ahead and play a song. Some of the best films I've seen are foreign films. I used to always go to the foreign section of Hastings back in the day. Yeah, there's a lot of great foreign films out there. You're going to get me talking about that in a moment. Maybe we'll discuss foreign films. In fact, I've just been watching a bunch of Jackie Chan films lately, like some of his early films made over in China. So, yeah, we'll get it. I love movies, so we'll get into that in a moment. But let me go ahead and play a song. Speaking of films, this is a song that I covered. So a while back, might have been like 2020, something like that, the sequel to Frozen came out. Frozen 2. And my brother wanted to see that movie in theaters, but didn't want to go by himself, so I went to see it with him. And I was sitting there, and I knew there was going to be a big song. I was familiar with the big song from the first one. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about, the song, the single for that movie, whatever it's called. But, there's like a big song for it. And so I knew there would be a big song for this one too. And sure enough, it came on, and I was kind of like patting on my lap as I was hearing it. And this little idea came in my head. I was like, this could be a metal song. And at first I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not really big on covers. I didn't want to do that. But I thought, what, let me at least try it. And if I like it, then I'll go through with it. If I don't like it, then I won't make myself do it, But sure enough, I kind of played around with it, and I was sort of like, man, this is coming out pretty cool. So I went through with it and ended up doing a cover for it. So this is my cover of the song from Frozen 2, Into the Unknown. And yes, I shot a video for it, and I used these same lights and have the same color palette for that video. I don't have the tiara, though, so sorry, gonna have to leave that out. But here we go. This one's Into the Unknown. Helps to turn the volume up. I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. Oh. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. And everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, and I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Are there someone out there who's a little bit like me? Knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be. Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. There, do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? Whoa. Where are you going? Don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown? Thank you. All right. Let's catch up with the chat. Here we go. All right. Let It Go. Yep, that's what it was called. Yeah, that's the first one. Hey, Isaiah, thanks for tuning in. Chugalicious. Yep, try to do that. That double bass was hilarious. Yep. That was sick. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was feeling. Oh, thanks for the applause, you all. Yeah, when I first heard it, I was in theaters listening to it, and I'll kind of tap my feet. I almost add double bass to everything, like when I'm drumming along, like kind of, to myself, and just kind of out of habit, And yeah, kind of, I don't know, it just sort of, I don't know, the beat felt good. Especially, like, what I really liked was in that chorus, I just wanted that downbeat with that snare, pop-a-doo, 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 pop, Like, that was kind of the drive that I really liked about it. And then, yeah, kind of some technical stuff in there. So, Abe says, "Cool stuff, dude. I always enjoy a good metalcore cover." Well, thank you, appreciate that. And yeah, I don't do too many covers, but that's my favorite way to do a cover, though, is to adapt it to your style. Like, rather than doing a cover of another song that's already in your style, I think it's nice to pick a different song and then adapt it, interpret it, kind of do your version of it, your style of it, and that's kind of a fun thing to do. And I think good songs, really translate to other styles. Like a song that's just really well written. It can work for pretty much any style. You can do country, rock, metal, pop, hip hop. You can make it work. I agree. Make it your own. Yeah, I think that's much more effective too. Especially showcasing like yourself as an artist is, taking a song that people are familiar with, but then showing how you would do it. Showing your version of it. So definitely cool. Anyone who's just tuning in, don't be shy. Say hello. And if you've got a question, it could be anything. It could be music related. It could be just something you're curious about. whatever you'd like to ask, leave a question. If you'd like to request a song, my song list is in the description, so feel free to request whatever song you'd like, and I will play it just for you. We had a request earlier for A Place to Call Home, so I think I'm going to dive into that one in just a moment. But real quick, we were talking about foreign films, and yeah, there's a lot of great movies from other countries, and it's I don't know. I think sometimes just because something's not in our language, we can be like, oh, I got to read subtitles. But, that doesn't change, it could still be a good movie and it could still tell a good story. And that's, especially as far as stories go, it doesn't really matter what language is spoken. People are people. It's the same emotions, same relationships, same experiences. And so that storytelling kind of transcends language in that way. So that's what's really cool. And foreign films, I think sometimes have different, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but they don't have the same, restrictions that we sometimes have, like in Hollywood and stuff. They it's a different environment, and so the way they approach making movies is different, and therefore sometimes you get some really cool stuff. That's kind of what's cool about action movies from Asian cinema, is because a lot of times they just had to do it for real. Jackie Chan made a joke about someone was asking him, how do you do the stunt? Easy, you practice, you prepare, you do the stunt, cut, and then you go to the hospital. It's just they had to do it for real and oftentimes got hurt doing it. But, the end result is sweet. You get some really great action stunts and fight scenes and stuff. So, yeah, definitely love a lot of that. I don't know if you guys ever saw, what's it called? The Man from Nowhere. It's a Korean film, but that's a great action thriller. That's a really good one. So, Jack says, Twist and Shout was a beautiful Danish coming-of-age film. Don't think I'd seen that one, so I might have to check it out. Abe says, I like the unpredictable nature of the foreign plot, and I think that's probably true too. I think there might be sort of a standard story structure, that we have in American cinema, and then that it's a structure that other countries might not follow, and so you kind of get a unique experience because they're telling the story in a way that isn't so familiar to what we're used to and stuff. So definitely some cool stuff there. Yeah, I might have to ask you guys, what kind of movies do you enjoy? What would you say are some of your favorite genres? And and maybe even just list a few of your favorite movies from that genre. I'd be curious. For myself, action adventure is definitely my favorite. I love a good action movie. I love adventure. It could take, I definitely love modern action, kind of like secret agent stuff, James Bond, John Wick, Mission Impossible, that kind of thing. But again, I like adventure too. So it could be like Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones, Gladiator, which is kind of more of a drama, but it can be in any time period, and I just love a good adventure and exciting action, and so that's really what I love. But I like I like dramas, I like thrillers, and I like a lot of other movies too. I could keep listening to them, but I'd be curious to hear some of your favorite. Yes, Korea does have a lot of really good foreign films. I've seen a lot of great Korean films. And thankfully, a lot of this stuff is on Netflix too, so kind of nice to just have simple access to it. Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play another song. This is a song of mine called A Place to Call Home. This was requested by Jack. It was mistakenly requested by Jack, thinking it was another song, but then he said to go ahead and play it. So this was one of my first releases. This is kind of an older song of mine, but kind of an earlier one. But yeah, I'll go ahead and play this one for you. If anyone else has a song request, you can find my song list in the description, and feel free to leave a request. Let me know what song you'd like to hear, and I will play it just for you. Is obvious, but I'm too scared to set it free. Break down the walls, show me your heart. This is the place where I fall apart. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I not feel alone. I promised a destiny, but I won't trust what I cannot see. Some mother will tuck me in to this coffin and bury me. Break down the walls, show me your heart. This is the place where I fall apart. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I not feel alone. You showed me love like I never known. You told me of a place to call home. You told me of a place to call home, someplace where I would not feel alone. You showed me love like I never known. You told me of a place to call home. Thank you. Again, that one's called A Place to Call Home. And that song is available on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, and all the other musics. Wherever you like to listen to music, you can probably find it there. So definitely give it a listen. All right, let's catch up with the chat. If anyone has a request, if they'd like to hear a song, my song list is in the description. And yeah, just make a request and I'll play that song just for you. And if anyone's got a question, if they're curious about something or whatever the case might be, just let me know. And yeah, we'll dive right into it. Let's see here. Abe is saying, man, I love a bunch I love a bunch of weird twists, okay? Any of those mind-bending stories. I like a lot of sci-fi, but I end up watching a ton of stupid comedy on repeat. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's kind of funny, there's a lot of feel-good comedy out there. It's like, comedy is one of those genres, like, I like comedy. In fact, it's kind of like, who doesn't like comedy, you know? But it's not my favorite genre. Like, I love the craft of, sorry, let me say that again. You know, I know comedy takes craft. I know there's art to humor. Like, I get that, you know. But, you know, I just love, like, but usually comedy is, it's about, you know, the humor. It's about the characters. You know, it's not the same thing as, like, you know, it doesn't require choreographing a fight scene or, you know, there's not a whole lot that goes into, like, experimenting with the cinematography or things like that. You know, like, that's the stuff, like, I just love kind of soaking up. So I love movies that just are just super well crafted like that. And that's not to say that there can't be a well-crafted comedy, you know, I get that. But typically that genre is pretty straightforward. You know, it's pretty much all you're trying to highlight are the characters and the jokes or the funny experiences that happen. And so in order to do that, you know, everything else kind of needs to get out of the way. So the cinematography is pretty straightforward. The script can sometimes be pretty straightforward. And so I kind of get that. It's sort of like, you know, like, yes, I love watching a good movie, but sometimes you're not going to be disappointed just throwing on a good comedy. It's like, so yeah, I kind of get that. Jack says, I'm a fan of the old spy TV shows, definitely long before my time, but The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Was pretty fun to watch. Actually, I don't know if I realized that was a show to begin with. I know there was a movie, which kind of doesn't surprise me that they ended up making a movie out of that. But that's pretty cool. One show. Now this is. I mean, I guess it's spy, but it goes in comedy as well. I always wanted to watch the what's it called? Get Smart, the original Get Smart. I did actually like the movie with Steve Carell, but I had this VHS when I was a kid, and the VHS, it was some kind of, it was called Laugh, I Thought I'd Die. And it was basically just a montage or a compilation of a bunch of clips from different TV shows and movies and just showing funny scenes. And so one of the clips, it showed a clip from the show Get Smart, and it was hilarious. I loved it, and after seeing that clip, like, I'd love to see so much more of that show. Of course, it's got that tagline, "Missed me by that much," like character, like almost, is in trouble, almost gets himself killed, but he's okay. Missed him by that much. So that's a spy comedy show that I haven't gotten to see it yet, but I would like to watch it. Let's see here. Isaiah says, definitely going to follow you on Spotify. Keep up the great work. Hey, Isaiah, appreciate that. Definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah, anything I've released so far, you can find it on Spotify. So, yeah, definitely appreciate that. Thank you. Jack says, love this song. Yeah, thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Hannah, good to have you in the chat. Hope you're doing well. For anyone who doesn't know, this is the same Hannah from Hannah's Movies and Music. Is that what it is? Sorry, I always forget. Hannah's Movies and Music, but this is the same Hannah. This is our Hannah, so good to have you in the chat. Says, a little late, but hey. Oh, actually, she said that for herself. Sorry. Hannah's Movies and Music, yep. A little late, but hey, everyone, it's Hannah's Movies and Music, but on a more music-focused channel, so... Yeah, definitely excited to see what you have in store. Hannah had messaged me earlier, kind of saying that she was going to be doing some stuff on this channel. It sounds like this one's going to be a little more music-focused, and I think you said artist-focused, so I don't know if you're planning to kind of perform some music or do some originals or some covers or anything like that. I'm not sure what you have in mind, but definitely excited to check it out. Let's see here. Abe says, I enjoy the level of musical songwriting structures in your songs, dude. Thank you. A good variety of sweet riffs and vocal rhythms. I'm impressed. Thanks, man. Yeah, what's important to me, I can say, I like the two things that are most important to me. I like melodies. And I like chord movements, especially unique chord movements, And so those are the two things that matter to me. And along with that melody, what's so important is I like catchy. I like things to be catchy. And so when I write songs, even though I'm really into a lot of like progressive and technical metal bands, but I still like to write in a just a simplified song structure, just a tried and true, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus kind of song structure. That's not to say that I won't experiment, and I do have songs that do kind of play with a different song structure sometimes, but I definitely like, I don't want to overindulge, I kind of like to keep it, hit them hard and get out quick. I try to keep it as short as I can. Some songs might have a little bit of length to them, but main point is like I try not to overstay my welcome. And I think that helps. I think it helps. Just I'd rather leave people wanting more rather than to just overstay my welcome. And so I think song structure is really important for doing that and for keeping a song engaging. And melody is really important for me. Like I want something to be catchy. I want it to get stuck in my head and hopefully stuck in the heads of anyone who's listening. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's see here. Jack says, horror movies tend to be my faves, only because they kind of make my own problems feel manageable. And I guess that could help. It's like, you could be thankful, like, I'm glad I'm not that guy, or glad I'm not that girl who has that killer chasing after her. So, I actually really like horror movies, but I'm very... critical about them. I'm not a big fan of slashers. Like I don't want to see a bunch of dumb characters get themselves killed. I want to care about the character, and I like so almost more like a thriller, but with horror elements. I want to care about the character, and I like seeing them in a situation that they have to overcome, and that's when, like, if you care about the character, that's when it's actually scary because they're put in a situation, and you're wondering how they're going to get out of it, and there are actual stakes involved. Like, it's not just what's the creative way to kill this person. Abe says, I got to run. It was fun. Time to drive. Hey, Abe, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much. And hope everything goes well. Hope you have a great rest of the week. And hopefully see you soon, man. Thanks again for the kind words. And looking forward to whatever else you got coming up, man. Let's see here. So I actually really like horror movies. Like some of my favorite, like I like the first Saw. The first Saw was like, kind of a psychological thriller, kind of a little bit of a mystery. Later, it just became about like creative ways of killing people, and that's not really what I'm into. But the first one was like really good. I like, and I also like, atmosphere, like spooky stuff. There's a movie called Dead Silence. Don't know if you've seen that, but it's about like ventriloquist dummies and stuff. But again, it's like it's only got a few characters, but you actually care about them and you're actually rooting for them. It's kind of a mystery with sort of, the scary, spooky element, So that's a good one. The Invisible Man, which came out recently, that was actually a really good movie. So, and there's probably more that I'm forgetting about, but yeah, I quite enjoy some scary movies as well. Daniel saying hello to Hannah. Abe was saying, I used to watch that on some old channel when I was a kid. I wonder if you might have been commenting when I was talking about, what's it called? Get Smart or something. So that's cool. Let's see here. Hannah says, love a good horror movie, but I can't seem to find one that I can handle without wanting to punch the actors. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, that's frustrating too. When again, like I said, like I like the movie. I would kind of agree with that. For me, horror is like, when it's done right, it's like one of my favorite genres, but there's a very small collection of horror movies that I actually enjoy. Because you're right, a lot of times it's very dumb characters or very poorly acted. And yeah, they're just making stupid decisions that get themselves killed. So Jack says Train to Busan was one of the better Korean horror films, which boiled down to its essence. Is about a man trying to protect his daughter from harm during the zombie apocalypse. I can't remember if I'd seen that. I definitely know that title, Train to Busan, but I can't remember if I'd seen that one. But I think I'd heard it's good. I definitely need to check that one out. I feel like there's another... I don't know if it's a horror film, but there's a thriller, a Korean thriller called... I think it's I Saw the Devil or something like that. I've only seen it once, but I remember loving it. I remember like that being such a good movie. Just a really good thriller. Definitely had like some horror elements to it, but that might be more of a thriller than a scary movie. But again, yes, Korea has some really good films, or at least we get the good films, from Korea. Let's see here. Daniel is requesting "Say That It's Over." I will play that just for you. Jack says I felt the same about the Saw movies. Yep. The first one was really good, and then after that, it just became about, to their credit, I think they all had pretty good plot twists at the end. But yeah, after a while, it was just about, how creatively they could dismantle people. It wasn't really about, the characters and the mystery and like what was actually at stake. Hannah says, I love the Saw franchise. Only franchise that comes close to beating it is the Scream franchise. But other than that, everything about Saw is perfect, from the soundtracks to the cast. It does have very good soundtracks in it. And yeah, the Scream franchise is actually pretty good. I still have to see more of the Scream franchise, but I remember watching the first one, and yes, it's very good. I sort of thought, I originally thought that Scream was just like any other horror movie, just a bad guy in a mask that goes around killing dumb teenagers, but it proved to be, sorry, bumping into my mic stand, proved to be more than that. So yes, definitely. I really like the first one, so I've got to see more of the Scream franchise for sure. And let's see here. Hannah says, Mark Hoffman ruined the other films, in all honesty. Now, I'm trying to think. I know that name. Now, do you mean, are you talking about Saw or Scream or another franchise? But all the other films. And then Daniel says, Alien, the original, was actually scary for that time. The first Alien was good. I personally, I know the first Alien is kind of more of a scary movie, and the second one's more of an action movie. I personally liked the second Alien better than the first one, because the first one, there was a compromise made with how they chose to tell the story. The first one intentionally doesn't have a protagonist. Like all the characters are kind of treated as equal, and so you don't really get attached to any of the characters, and the reason for that was so that you wouldn't know who was going to get it, because the idea is that the main character, if they're the main character, they're not going to die. That's the logic behind it. So it's like, so if you don't know who the main character is, then you don't know who's at risk. You don't know who's going to die. But for me, it's I really like characters. Like, it's really hard for me to enjoy a film that doesn't have strong characters, and sometimes that's a choice. Like there are movies, like I don't know if you guys have seen Dunkirk. Christopher Nolan, amazing filmmaker, and he intentionally chose in Dunkirk, not to have like a specific protagonist or character. There were some characters that it follows, but you don't really get to know them, and the reason for that is more so that you can just experience this with them. But for whatever reason, I just don't, movies like that just don't resonate with me. I'm sure there are exceptions out there, but so far from my experience, just like I really like characters. Like that's kind of like that's not a question. The movie has to have good characters in order for me to really enjoy it. And so, the first Alien, I think because of the lack of character development, it just didn't resonate with me as well. Again, it's especially for its time a really incredible movie. But the second one that had more of a making Ripley the protagonist, and just having more developed characters to begin with, I think just resonated with me a lot more. Hannah was talking about the Saw trilogy when she was saying with Mark Hoffman. Hannah asks, do you have any good vocal warm-up tips for last-minute performances by chance? Let's see here. So as far as warm-ups go, warm-up tips for last-minute performance. So now, do you mean like if you were having to sing on the spot? Is that kind of what you're asking? Like if you had to sing on the spot and you hadn't warmed up yet, like what would I do? Is that kind of what you're asking? Because I can tell you some of my favorite warm-ups. I actually try to warm up my voice every day when I get a chance. And I'll find unique ways to do it. Usually I'll just sing into my closet. And when I don't have time to that, I'll do vocal warm-ups in the shower, or if I'm driving somewhere. Or sometimes I have to weed eat at my house. And so I'll actually do my vocal exercises while I'm weed eating because the thing's so loud. So I can just like sing my head off, and don't have to worry about anyone hearing me. So let's see. If I had to pick like kind of my go-to, simple humming is really helpful, especially just for getting proper tone placement. Just kind of like, and like gradually getting higher and higher, and just really focusing on, it's almost like you're wearing a mask and you're humming into that mask, it's almost just a little bit into your nose, not too much, but very forward placement. And just kind of focusing on having that strong forward placement, and trying not to strain for those high notes. So humming's a good one. Vocal fries are really good. Basically, just doing that with your voice. That like totally, like the cool high school girl or whatever. So just kind of vocal fries. And so I'll do a lot of like I'll combine vocal fries with sort of some like stretches. Like I'll say words like smear. Like smear, it kind of stretches your cheeks a little bit and just kind of gets some blood flow, kind of warms up everything there, and kind of helps with like especially words like like cheese, kind of gets you, I don't know, it sounds weird, but it kind of gets your face prepared, for singing those notes, rather than kind of feeling tight and closed off, really allows you to open your mouth and sing and project. And then let's see, vocal fries are a good one. And then lip trills, That's a really good one, and I know I'm giving you like a huge list here. And probably the last one that I would maybe kind of do is actually singing in my falsetto a little bit. So falsetto is this voice, that head voice. It's not your real like speaking voice. And I'll sing E. I'll go E, or let's see, I think that's right. E, or something like that. E, and I'll just keep going down. E, and I try to keep going as low as I can because there's kind of this the thing I'm trying to warm up most is where that break is at, you know, where your real voice has to switch to the head voice. So I try to do like lip trills as high as I can, and then I do the head voice as low as I can, and it kind of breaks up that middle part, you know, where your voice starts to crack or break or whatever. And if I can kind of warm up that area, usually I find that covers my range and kind of opens up my voice enough. So like if I had to pick two, I think I would do lip trills as high as I could, and then do that head voice as low as I can. And that would probably be like the two that I would use as quickly as I can. And then I would just like kind of do vocal fries, like on my own, because no one can hear that. You can just do that like quietly to yourself. So kind of do that while you're waiting to sing or whatever, and then drink lots of water. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea. Jack says, I enjoyed the first two screams. Thought the third one was decent. Fourth one was silly. Last couple, I just didn't like at all. I've heard mixed things about the last couple ones. I've heard from some that they were quite good, and then I've heard, I guess, some didn't quite enjoy them. Hannah says, lip trills are my go-to. They feel like the only ones that work for me. Yeah, they're definitely good ones. I know if you're looking for other ones, I think that's part of what you have to do. It is good to kind of find a selection of warm-ups, and then just try to narrow it down. Try to find like those go-tos that really do work for you. Like I have a relatively quick vocal routine, but like I said, I'd probably just do the lip trills going up as high as I could, and that head voice as low as I could, and then just like simple humming is really nice. And another thing that I really work on, this is more so vocal practice rather than vocal warm-ups, but making exercises out of your songs. So if there's like a tough section of the song that you're singing, make an exercise out of it. There's a song, you guys know my song, Erase Myself, and it's got a pretty high note in the chorus where it goes, and I'll face myself. I got to get to that note. So I actually made an exercise out of that where I'll start lower and I'll sing, I got to get to a different key. And I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself with honesty, erase myself and start again. And I'll face myself. You get the idea, Usually I would start lower than that and then gradually go up. And now that's working on a specific technique. I have to use mixed voice to get that higher note. And so it's kind of helping me ease into that mixed voice. And but that's kind of an exercise and kind of works as a good way to warm up my voice for using mixed voice and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, let me go ahead and play a song for you. Daniel had requested Say That It's Over, so let me go ahead and play that one. If anyone else has a song request, you can find my song list in the description. Let me know what song you would like to hear, and I will play it just for you. And if anyone else has any more questions, they can be about singing, they can be questions about guitar or something else music related, or questions about movies, or whatever it might be. Whatever you're curious about, whatever you'd like to learn, just ask a question and I'll do my best to answer it. Here we go. I'm going to play Say That It's Over. This one goes out to you, Daniel.
Your smile's so deceptive that it almost looks real. Well, it must be hard to fake what you do not really feel. You're hiding, I know it. Tell me what's on your mind. I only wish to help. Won't you let me back inside? Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise face shows no reaction when I call out your name. Your presence like a ghost. You seem so far away, and you know that I love you, but the words seem to have died. I just want this to end. Please let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Let me inside. Just look at me when I look at you, because you must realize you're barely holding on, and I'm holding tight. Would you just please try? Don't give in. You have to fight. Why won't you hear my cry? I don't wanna say goodbye. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. Tell me the truth just one last time. I promise I'll help you. If only you'll let me back inside. Say that it's over. And I don't wanna hear another lie. I just wanna help you. Please won't you let me back inside.
Thank you. Again, that one's called Say That It's Over. And that song is available on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the other music. So definitely check out that song if you can. And thank you for the request. Daniel, if anyone else has a request, you can find my songs in the description. There's a list of songs there. And if anyone's got a question, ask away and I'll do my best to answer it. Thank you for the applause. Appreciate that. And you're very welcome, Daniel. So let's see here. Yeah, we've been kind of chatting about movies and a little bit about vocal exercises. I'm trying to think. I've got other vocal. You were saying, Hannah, that you feel like there aren't very many that work for you, and so I'd love to help you. There's a few go-tos that I have, and so let me kind of go through them real quick, and maybe some of these will help you. I'll share with you my warm-up routine and what goes with me. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but number one is humming, and just a simple you just go up a half step each time. Second one is lip trills. Bum, bum, all right. After that, there's one. I say lay and ah. And I start with lay and then I end with ah. So this one goes lay ah. And then you go up a half step. Bum, bum. Lay ah. And whenever I do these, by the way, I have a folder on my computer with a piano recording all the scales. So I'm always singing along with the piano. I would demonstrate it, but I don't think you guys can hear it. But like you guys probably can't hear that right now. But it basically it's a piano playing the notes, and then I just sing along with it. So that's one. Another one that I like to do. There's I do E. E's are very hard to sing. It's very hard to sing E, and so it's nice to do a warm up for that. So this one goes E. Hold on. Yeah. E. Even there, I was breaking a little bit. Bum, bum. E. So singing E, that's a good one. And then after that, that's when I go to that head voice one. So I do E again, but now I'm doing it high, going low. So that's what I do next. After that, I start working on the mixed voice. So that's when I do the exercise I made up for Erase Myself. Now, besides that, if you wanted to work on mixed voice, there's actually a great exercise called sliders. And you basically go from an octave to another octave. You go, you slide up to it first, and then you jump back and forth. And the idea is to go like, you keep going higher and higher. And you're trying to kind of smoothly, the purpose of that is to work on eliminating that break, that, where you kind of get caught, kind of smoothly transitioning to that higher note. So that's a good one. And then after that, I've actually got one for my low range because for a long time I had a very weak low range. It's gotten a lot better, but it's still pretty challenging to kind of sing lower notes. And so I'll just do nay, 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 nay. You just keep going down. Nay, nay, nay. And once it gets really low, you can switch to na. Na, na, na. And I'll basically just keep going. Na, na, na. Just as low as I can go. So, and that's pretty much it. Those are my main vocal ones. But then I also do some warm-ups for singing with grit, so adding that texture to the voice. And then, and also for my harsh vocals, if I'm going to scream. So for that, for grit, I'll just kind of do like a na sound, like kind of get in my nose. Not really in the nose too much, but just a little bit. And just try to go, like make a really noisy, like na-na kind of sound. Just trying to get that buzz. And then from there, I don't know why, but it just sounds good to sing O. I would go, oh, oh, yeah, yeah. I'll do oh and yeah. And I don't know why, but that feels good to sing that phrase and add that texture. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. But I'll also just kind of practice like, yeah, just try to hold out a note and just kind of, try to add that texture to it. So that helps so that you're doing it properly, because when you do it right, it feels good. Like it does not hurt the throat or anything to add that grit to the voice. And then for like the screams and the harsh stuff, I don't know if you're interested in doing any of that, but if you are, there's two types of screams. I mean, there's probably other types, but the two that I work on, there's false chord screaming, which is like very, very open throat. And then there is, what's it called? Fry scream, which you kind of, a little more closed throat. False chord comes to me a little easier. Basically, you just make a sound like you're exhausted, just like you're frustrated, and you just try to kind of hold that out. You kind of get that. It shouldn't hurt the throat. It should sound almost not relaxed, but your throat should sound pretty open. And then I'll just practice vowels. Ah, e, oo, a, o, ah, e, oo, a, o, and then gradually kind of work on some. Again, I'll take songs of mine, songs where I use false chord screaming, and I will practice screaming those. So I'll do that, and then for the fry scream, that's kind of the last thing I'll exercise or warm up. But I'll transition into it. There's actually a song from Chevelle called "Wonder What's Next," and there's this line he sings. We play the blaming game. Yes, I mind. And then he screams, "It's not your turn." And for whatever reason, when I start with that grit, that line just kind of helps me transition into that scream. So, we play the blaming game. Yes, I mind. It's not your turn. Kind of helps me get into that. And I'll do that a few times till it kind of feels good. And then once I'm like locked into the sensation, then I'll start practicing like vowels and stuff like that, and practicing lines for my own songs. So, fry screams, still working on like getting consistent with those. Like when I got them, like it's like, wow, I'm doing it. Like they feel good, they sound good, but you definitely have to be frequent with that practice, because if I don't practice for a while, they're tough to do, you know. It's hard to do them right. Like, even if you're doing it right, like, they just don't sound good. You have to, it's such a weird thing. You just have to do them consistently in order for them to be easy. If you don't practice them frequently, you're not going to get a good sound out of it, even if you're doing it right. So, all right, if anyone's got a question, feel free to share your questions, and I will answer them for you. If anyone has a song request, there's a link I keep saying link in the description, because that's the only time I ever refer to the description. But if you look in the description, you'll see my song list, and whatever song you'd like me to play, let me know, and I will play it just for you. And also for for Jack, Hannah, Daniel, anyone who's tuned in right now, and for anyone who is just tuning in, I wanted to update you guys. So for the past month, I have been in a contest where I have the potential to meet Tony Hawk. And when I first entered in this contest, I didn't know that voting was going to be involved. Okay, well, Daniel's asking, Daniel, when will you find out about the Tony Hawk deal? So here's the story thus far. So when I first entered, I didn't know that voting was going to be a factor. I thought it was kind of just like a raffle, kind of like you just sign up, and if you get picked, you win, So I figured, sure, why not, So I signed up for this Tony Hawk contest. And then they let me know, all right, you are qualified for the contest. You're in. Start sharing. This is your link. Start sharing it and get people to vote. And I was like, oh, you got to get people to vote. And I was like, well, there's probably some guy out there with like a huge social media following. They're going to win. I don't stand a chance. But I was looking at my profile, and I wasn't doing that bad in the rankings. I think when I first looked at it, I was in like 50th place or something like that. But in my mind, I was thinking, well, there's got to be like hundreds of people in this contest. 50's not that bad, So I was like, maybe I got a chance at this. And once people started voting, that got me up to like, the top 15 or something like that, and eventually up to the top 10. And, for a while, I was in like first, and so for over the few, like, there were different weeks. And basically each week, they had like top 25, and then it was top 15, and then top 10. And pretty much most of those, I was in first place. Thanks to, I was surprised. And kind of the more I invested into it, the more I was like, into it. I was like, man, how far can I go with this? And an interesting thing happened. There was top 5, and for top 5, you had to get first place. You couldn't just be, in fifth. You had to, I made it to the top 5, but after that, to get to the quarterfinals, you had to be first. And unfortunately, like, I was so close. I was in first, I was in second, and then I got people to vote. People were voting. They got me back to first. But by the end of the timer, the end of the day, I was in second, and I didn't make it. It didn't go through. And I was like, man, I guess it's over. So I thought it was done. And I was kind of like, I was already sort of at peace with it. Like, man, I tried, and I guess it didn't happen, and kind of making peace with it. And then my sister texts me, and she's like, have you seen this? And it turns out there was a wild card round, and the wild card round is for all the runner-ups. Everyone that got second, they're like, you were so close, you are the runner-up, so we're going to give you a second chance. And so the wild card round, basically me against all the other wild cards, and thankfully, I made it. You all, those of you who voted, and my family and friends, they voted for me, and thanks to the wild card round, I got another chance, and now I have made it to the quarterfinals. So here is my understanding. As far as quarterfinals go, there's still another week. So, quarterfinals will end next week. So there's still 7 days left to vote for quarterfinals. And I'm guessing after quarterfinals, it'll be semifinals. And then I guess after semifinals, I guess it's finals. So I'm not totally sure how long it's going to keep going. But it is coming down to the wire, And I will say the competition is getting a lot tougher. Like, I'm even seeing the page right now. I'm currently in 4th place, which isn't awful, but I'm guessing at this point, like, I got to get first to advance. Like, I'm just glad I made it as far as I did, to be honest. But that's my guess. Right now it's quarterfinals, another week of voting for quarterfinals, and then I'm guessing it's going to go to semifinals, and then the actual finals, and then that'll be the end. Now, I do have potentially one other option to meet Tony Hawk, and that is if I enter a video of me performing a creative board slide, and Tony Hawk's actually going to view that. A board slide is a skateboarding trick, and Tony Hawk's going to view the entries himself, and he's going to pick his favorite one. Now, there's already a lot of skaters out there that are way better than me, so I'm not expecting that. I'm still going to try. I have a few ideas for a couple creative board slides I could try, and so I'm going to try to enter. especially just if he could see it, that'd be cool. Just like, whoa, Tony Hawk saw my clip. But I don't have high expectations to win that. I think my best bet is probably through the voting. But we'll see. I'm so thankful for everyone who has voted. So anyway, I just posted a link in the chat. So if anyone would like to help me, I've made it this far, and if you'd like to support me so that I have the chance and the opportunity to meet Tony Hawk, then yes, click that link and you can vote for me. It's free, takes less than a minute. You just click the free daily vote, and you can vote every 24 hours. So if you want to save that link and just continue to vote for me each day, or just follow me on social media, and you'll probably see me kind of notify you when to vote. But definitely curious to see how far I can take this thing. So, and I definitely can't do it alone. So I appreciate all of you who have taken the time to support me. And now, just so y'all know, the whole thing is a fundraiser. This whole contest has been a fundraiser, and it's for the Tony Hawk Foundation, the skate park project. And this is a foundation that helps to build skate parks in areas and communities that can't afford to build a good skate park. And it's actually the same foundation that provided my city of Charlottesville, with our skate park, which is an awesome skate park. I use it every Saturday, and I love it. And so if anything, it's a great foundation. And so you can donate to the foundation. There's something called a hero vote. You might have seen that. And basically, every dollar is worth a vote. And then sometimes they'll double it up. Sometimes they'll do this ×2 thing where every dollar is worth 2 votes. So any dollar you donate is worth a vote. And I actually have had a few friends who have donated and voted that way. And I'm like incredibly grateful for them to do that. It's like they did not have to. And I really appreciate them being willing to do that. And I'm hoping to return the favor to them somehow. So by all means, that's totally your choice. I'm not expecting anyone to donate on my behalf. But what I am saying is, if you do donate, it's to a good cause. That's what I'm saying. So like even myself, I'm not allowed to do hero votes. I can vote for myself with the free daily vote, but I can't do hero votes because I'm a contestant. And so, but this is a cause that I would, I would totally donate. This is definitely a cause that I'm behind. So, so if anyone were to vote for me and I weren't, even if I didn't win, like the money is still going to a good cause and stuff. So just to inform you guys of that. But anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate that. There's a link in the chat there for anyone who wants to vote for me. All right, so I think we're doing good. Might take a few more requests, and we'll see how things go. If more people show up, maybe we'll keep this thing rolling. We'll see. I'm not sure. Might be wrapping things up in a little bit. But if anyone else has a song request, just let me know. Again, if you look in the description, there's my song list. So just let me know what song you'd like to hear, and I'll play it just for you. If you've got any questions, if you're curious about anything, or if you'd like to learn something, or it could be music related, movie related, whatever it might be, just let me know. Daniel, I might ask you, have you done anything with the astro photography lately? Have you taken any new pictures? And I can't remember if I've asked you before. I don't know if you're kind of just taking that stuff, for yourself, or if you have intent of posting that stuff. Like, I don't know if you would do like an Instagram page or I'm not sure what other. I'm sure there are other platforms for posting pictures like that. Be kind of cool, if you got some pictures. You could put music behind that. You could just post. You could make like a little video montage on YouTube and just kind of put some music behind it or something. That'd be pretty cool. But be curious to hear how all that is coming about. If you've taken any new pictures or anything, and all that. I know. I think you have plan. I think you told me you have plans to go to Alaska again at some point. I don't know if that's happening later. I know you've been to Alaska. I don't know if you're planning to go again. Hey Ray, thanks for joining. So be Quincy, almost missed this. Hey, nothing to worry about. Nothing. Glad you made it. Glad you could join. And thanks for joining us, Ray. I'm taking song requests. So if you want to, if you look in the description, you'll see a list of songs of mine, and just let me know what song you'd like to hear, and I'll play it just for you. Been on an hour already, and I just now got the notification. Hey, no worries about that, but I appreciate you tuning in. Still planning to go for a little bit, so you're definitely not too late. If you'd like to hear a song, I'll play a song just for you. You can make a request. And if you've got any questions, we're doing a Q&A, so you can ask me. It could be music related. It could be about something else, if you're just curious. Whatever else, it could be about movies, skateboarding, video games, life, whatever questions you might have, ask away, and I'll do my best to answer them. See, Daniel says, not lately. Weather's been kind of cloudy at night. We've had rain here and there. For astrophotography, a lot of amateur astronomers used a site called Astrobin, and there's been some nice stuff there. Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's cool that there is like kind of a platform for it to sort of check that stuff out. And yeah, that's really cool. And again, yeah, I was asking you about Alaska. I can't remember if you said you had plans to go visit again. I was going to use that to segue and say that some of my family is actually visited Niagara Falls recently. Our church did a trip, and some of my mom, my dad, my brother, and my nephew went on that trip. And so they posted some pictures online, and it looked like they had a fun time. But yeah, they got to see Niagara Falls. Mom actually sent a video, but it's kind of funny. Like, I don't think the video does it justice. Like, you can tell, like, that thing is huge, but I'm sure it's quite a sight to behold in person. It's actually kind of interesting how effective it can be to see something in person. And what I mean by that is I went to New York earlier this year with my brother-in-law and my nephew. And, we were just checking out all the sites, just doing things. And at some point, I can't remember how it happened, but I think I got the idea to look up movie locations from New York, because there's been a lot of movies shot in New York. And I saw this place. There's a library that was used in Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. And there's a scene where Uncle Ben is dropping him off, dropping him off at the library. And it's like, the last time they get to talk. And there was like an article showing like, hey, yep, here's the location. This is where they shot it at in New York. And my brother-in-law's like, hey, that's, according to this, that's only like 7 blocks away. You want to go check it out? And I was kind of like, yeah, sure, that might be kind of cool, like just kind of casual, like, yeah, whatever, we'll go check it out, And I was kind of expecting like just to see it and be like, yep, that's it, cool, but not think much of it. But it's amazing how like when you see it in person, you're like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's in the movie. Just like, it's amazing the excitement it brings up. And, we got a picture of it and stuff. And so if I ever get to go to New York again, I would love to have a list of movie locations and then go to those locations and get a picture trying to recreate like a snapshot from the movie, But main point being, like, I think whatever it is, whether it's Niagara Falls or the Grand Canyon, I think like, I don't think pictures or video does that stuff justice. I think it's probably it's so amazing just experiencing that stuff in person. It's such a, I don't know. It's interesting how that happens. It's amazing the connection that you experience when you see something for real. Daniel says, I do want to go back to Alaska again and see the Northern Lights. That was beautiful the last time. Yeah, that sounds like it was a great trip. I remember you telling me about that, and sounds like it was awesome. Niagara Falls. Yep. I would love to go to Niagara Falls. It would be cool. That's one of my vacation plans. Awesome. Yeah, I will say this. You take some cool vacations, man. You go to some pretty cool places. Me, I typically just tag along with my family, and we've got a big family, so we have a tendency to go to a lot of the same places. It's either, if we're going to the beach, we usually go to Myrtle Beach. Sometimes we go to Outer Banks, but usually it's Myrtle Beach. And then sometimes we'll go to Tennessee, and I don't even know why we go to Tennessee. I'm not sure what's there, but we've gone to Tennessee before, so. And then what is it? My favorite vacation was a cruise, and we haven't done that in a while. There's been some talk. Like, I think we really want to do another cruise, but a few years ago, I've been on 2 cruises with Carnival Cruise, and that might be my favorite type of vacation because I don't know. That was great. You've got everything on the boat, great food and just free, easy access to the food. There's entertainment on the boat. There was a magician on there. There's, lots of live performances and different shows, lots of activities. There's lots to do. You got your workout equipment there. You can go swimming. They've, fun activities and games to play with your family and friends and stuff. And different like events that take place on the cruise, and you take stops, so you do stop at beaches, and you can get off the boat for a little bit and kind of explore those places. And I don't know, it was just fun. It was like one of my favorite vacations, and so I would love to go on another cruise. But what about you guys? I'd be curious. What have been some of your favorite vacations that you've taken? What have been some of your favorite places that you have visited? Let me know. yeah, let me know what some of your favorite places to visit have been, and what are some places you would like to visit. I know for myself, I'd love to go to Ireland sometime. Love to check that out, and I'd love to go to Japan. Those are probably like my top two places that I'd really like to visit at some point. Daniel says, I've never been on a cruise. Not really sure if I'd be a cruise person. Maybe one day. Yeah. Now, I will say this. When it comes to, there's different types of cruises. I specifically recommend the Carnival cruise because when I go on vacation, I don't go on vacation to relax, to be honest. To be honest, going to the beach and just like lounging around, that's not my idea of a vacation. I like doing stuff. Like I like adventure, and I like being active. And so that's why I like Carnival cruise. I think like Royal Caribbean is a little more laid back. Like it's more about like, yeah, just sit back, relax, have access to all the food you want and just enjoy the simple activities they have. Where Carnival is kind of more like, like they got a lot to do. There's a lot to do on Carnival. Even the way I described it probably isn't doing it justice, but like you stay busy, there's like I barely hung out like in my room to go to sleep. It's like you're just there's a lot. You're all over that boat, and it's just fun to explore. And so I will say that, when it comes to vacation, like I love doing stuff, so definitely going like I'd love to go on vacation somewhere, that's why I like theme parks, just going to the park and just exploring. I'd been with my friend before to Florida and going to like Universal Studios, so like that's a lot of fun, just going to the theme park and enjoying the rides and the shows, and I like doing stuff. So that's my idea of a vacation. But as far as like like really getting to visit a place, I'd love to go to Ireland sometime, and I'd like to go to Japan sometime. There's be a couple places that I would really like, really love to visit and enjoy. Those are probably my top two. There's a couple others, like a few other European places, like Italy would be pretty cool. But those are the kind of main ones. Anyone who's just tuning in, don't be shy, say hello. And if you've got a request for a song, you can find all my songs in the description. There's a list of songs there. And yeah, just let me know what song you'd like to hear, and I'll play it for you. Even if you haven't heard the song before, just whatever title seems intriguing. You're like, that sounds interesting. Just let me know, and I will play that song just for you. And if anyone's got a question, leave it in the chat, and I will do my best to answer it. Let me know what you want to know, and I'll try to let you know. So let's see here. Might dive into another song in a moment here. But yeah, travel itself is kind of an interesting thing. Like I do enjoy travel, but it's there's a lot to do in life. If you haven't noticed, there are a lot of things to do. There's so many different so many different disciplines that you can partake in. And there's not enough time to do it all. It's tough to do it all. And so me, as funny as it sounds, I like to do things. And I just feel like some people have such a. There's nothing wrong with this, but some people just have such a simple structure. It's just go to work, get off work, watch TV, go to bed, start the day over again. And vacation, you go somewhere nearby and comfortable, and then you go back. And some people have that kind of structure. And then I know there are the people that are like kind of the travelers, and they'll travel all around the world and stuff. I think they pretty much travel, and then they've got to, I'm not sure how they handle the financial side of things, but basically I think they work, and they invest that work into traveling and stuff. And there are probably certain compromises to make that happen. Unless you are doing well financially, in which case it's like you can take the time off and go travel and then return to your business or whatever it might be. But I enjoy travel, but it's more than just going somewhere. It's doing something. It's doing things. I really enjoy disciplines. That's why I really like music. I like songwriting. That's why I really like filmmaking. I like making movies. I love the craft of it. I like being creative and making stuff. I like martial arts. I like practicing that. I like parkour, fitness in general, just working out, being active. I love sprinting, swimming. Swimming is one of my favorite things to do. There's just skateboarding. I love skateboarding. And there's so many different activities and disciplines, and there's so much to learn. And I just, I don't know, like I never get sick of that. So already it's like, when it comes to travel, it's like, yes, I would like to travel, but, I'm very content. Like, I feel like there's just enough to learn and discover, just in my own vicinity. It's like, I don't have to go somewhere to feel accomplished, but I do hope, I do hope someday like that works out. I wouldn't say travel is like at the top of my list, but it's definitely on my list. I'm hoping someday, hoping to kind of have a business in place and be doing well financially, so that so I'll have the time to invest in these other disciplines that I'm interested in, while also being able to enjoy certain privileges like being able to travel and visit places. So we shall see. We've got a request here. Daniel is requesting for you. Well, Daniel, I'm going to play this song just for you. So for anyone who hasn't heard this song, I released this one a few years ago. This was actually one of the earlier songs that I released. And yeah, shot a music video for it. If you haven't seen it, be sure to check out my channel and check out the music video for this one. And yeah, this is a metalcore song. Wrote this one a while back. Hope you like it. All right. This one is for you.
I know you've coped with this loneliness. You think you're okay, but you've been tricked. I'm out here bleeding, but you can't hear me. Your silent screams are deafening. Well, ignore my warning. You just know that I'm sorry for you. And all this time, just know that I've tried for you. Come back to me. Thought I was different. You made me like them. Begged you to hold on, but you still let go. And from the distance, I can see what's missing. You never listen, so you'll never know. Well, ignore my warning. Just know that I'm sorry for you. And all this time, just know that I've tried for you. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. My closest friend and my deepest wound. My most painful scar, and I cherish you.
NYXL. Again, that one was called For You. That was a request by Daniel. And that song is available on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that stuff. So wherever you'd like to listen to it, you can find it there. So thanks for the request, Daniel. If anyone else has a request, you can find my list of songs in the description. And just make a request, and I will play it for you. And if anyone has a question, ask away, and I'll do my best to answer it. Just let me know what you want to know, and I'll let you know. Thanks for the applause, guys. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Daniel says, yeah, I agree. Wherever I go, I always book some type of excursion trip, etc. I want to see parts of the world that I don't get to see anywhere else, like flying over a volcano. Yeah, that is sweet. Yeah, that's a cool. That would be a cool experience. Have you done that? So, have you actually done that, or is that something on the to-do list, something to do? Because that would be pretty sweet. But yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun. You know, that kind of thing. Exploring that sort of thing. So, Jack, you know, Daniel and I, we were talking a little bit about vacations and stuff, and some of our interests. I've probably asked you this before, so forgive me if I always keep forgetting. But what about yourself? What do you you know, what do you enjoy doing for fun? And as far as like trips and travel and that kind of things go, you know, what's been some of your? Have you visited anywhere that you really enjoyed? You know, any particular trips that that were favorites of yours? I'd be curious to hear about that. So. And let's see here. I think. Oh yeah, Daniel. I was going to ask you. Have you learned any new songs on guitar or anything? And anything you've been working on lately? You know, have you tried to learn any new songs, or have you just been working on some good old favorites or anything? I'd be curious to hear what you've been playing lately. It says, yeah, I did that in Hawaii last year over the Kilauea. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Kilauea. Kilauea. I really want to be able to pronounce that because I feel like I should be able to, kind of that Hawaiian dialect. But volcano, which is now erupting again. Wow, that's pretty intense. But that's awesome. That had to be a cool experience for sure. Very cool. One thing I was thinking about the other day, I think it'd be pretty cool to go skydiving or bungee jumping. I always thought that I would like skydiving better than bungee jumping. Because I don't know. I guess skydiving, I felt like if the chute didn't go, like at least you're guaranteed to die, and hopefully die quick. Whereas, bungee jumping, it's like, there might be a chance that it like slows you down and you just get seriously injured if that didn't work or something. I don't know how accurate that is. But recently I was that's how I used to think. But recently I've been thinking, I would probably do bungee jumping. That'd be fun. But that's got to be, incredibly scary. Like heights are intense. Like even because I've done the closest thing I've done to that besides roller coasters. There was we went on a youth retreat with our youth group at our church, and we went to this kind of camp area, and they have all these different activities, and they had this sort of obstacle course, but they had this like high rope section, and they harness you in, and it's basically like a I don't know. It's almost like a little obstacle course, but it's you have to climb up to it and like kind of like a tightrope. You kind of walk across that, but they have different. It's not all just tight ropes. They have like different variations of that. And so I went to the tallest one and took the longest course, and then at the end of it, you can step off and like suspend. Like you'll fall down and it'll slow you down. It'll like almost like a zip, like a zip line or a grapple hook or something like that, and taking that step off, was actually pretty scary. It was like, but I wanted to do it. I didn't want to like back out, or I didn't want to like sit down and like ease off. Like I wanted to like take a full on step. But I was surprised like how like, wow, that's hard to do. I was probably, I'm trying to think how tall it was. It was pretty tall, somewhere around maybe 25 feet. Could have been taller, maybe shorter. I'm not sure exactly. That's a guesstimation. I don't know how tall it was, but it was pretty tall. And but yeah, but it's so exciting, like just stepping off. Unfortunately, I mean, it was probably a good thing, but actually, like once you step off, it like catches you immediately. You step off and it's like, and then you just like slowly descend. So, really had nothing to fear there, but it's exciting, Daniel says, I'm planning on learning something else from Master of Puppets. I'm thinking Sanitarium. That would be sweet. Well, good luck to you on learning that. It's always fun. I don't know. There is something satisfying when you're learning a new song, especially like tough songs like that. I think the cool thing about learning them is it's not like you just learn it. I mean, you could learn it in a day, I'm sure, but stuff like that. It's not like you just learn it in a day, you're done. It's almost like a little journey. It's like, all right, here we go. We're starting on the intro, and you kind of spend some time with that. And like once you got like the beginning good, it's like, all right, we're moving on. You kind of like each section, you're just adding on to this thing that you're building. And then once you can play the full song, and especially when you can play it like tightly, like I love just when I learn a song and then being able to play with the backing track and just being like in sync with it, like that is such a satisfying feeling, I think back on it was probably about a year, maybe 2, but it was about a year ago or something. I think it was my second time getting COVID. I got COVID twice. And each time, it sucked, but, thankfully it wasn't it wasn't too bad. I was getting over COVID, so all I was doing, I was just watching Netflix and playing guitar was pretty much all I did. But during that time, I learned the song "Cycle of Suffering" by Silosis, and I don't know, that was such a highlight during that time. Even though I was sick, it was so nice just to just learn a song that I love and just being able to play it. And I don't know how to articulate that, but it was just such a nice thing. And even still, now that I know that song, I love to put it on and then just play along with it. And it's just so satisfying to be able to play along with it, just to be a part of it, in some way. Jack was saying, I haven't yet made it to Finland, but I'd like to. That's cool. I bet Finland would be a really nice place to travel. There's a lot of places kind of over in Europe that I'd certainly like to visit at some point. So that's cool. I hope you make that happen sometime. Daniel says, I've done skydiving in Vegas. That's sweet. A while back, but I don't think I'd want to do a bungee jump. I don't know if you have the same logic as me. I was saying earlier, yeah, I would almost rather skydive than bungee jump. Now I think I'd be okay, but yeah, if I had to pick, I would still choose skydiving. But I think I'd be okay with bungee jumping. Ray says, been 120 feet in the air doing masonry work before, but I was in a harness and a lanyard retractable, so that didn't bother me. But to be able to just jump from that high, don't think I could. Simply knowing I could hit the ground. Yeah, it's intense. Being that high up, and like I said, 120 feet. That's way more than the simple. That's kind of the point I was trying to make. The thing I was on, was only 25 feet, and even just stepping off of that is very, very against instinct. Your instinct is that's an edge. Don't go over it. Don't walk off it. But there is something exciting about when you can break that barrier and just kind of go for it. It's very exciting. So that's still pretty cool being up that high. But yeah, having to jump and that is definitely a thrilling experience. Jack says, unfortunately, since being diagnosed with MS, I have become much more of a homebody, but I'm planning on going to Niagara Falls in August. That's awesome. I don't know if you heard me say that my family just, or some of my family and some of my church just went to Niagara Falls. They're coming back today, but they just went to visit, and that's awesome. So I'm glad you're going there, and you could still hope though, and I do hope it works out. I know maybe your current situation, maybe you're a bit of a homebody right now, but that's not to say that things can't change for you, and someday you'll get that chance. And so I really hope you do. I hope you get to go to Finland someday. Ray says, I have always wanted to go parachuting though. Yeah, I think parachuting would be fun. Haven't done it, but I would love to do that. Parachuting, skydiving, that kind of thing, be pretty sweet. Yeah, that would be a cool experience. A lot of fun. So anyway, guys, I think we're getting close. In a few minutes here, might be wrapping this up. So if we have any last requests, if you look in the description, I have a list of songs, and so whatever song you'd like to hear, just let me know and I'll play it for you. Even if you don't know my songs, you can just pick one. You can just say, hey, this one sounds interesting. Just pick a title and I'll play it for you, and you can hear what it sounds like. But yeah, let me know what song you'd like to hear, and I might be able to squeeze in one or two more before we wrap this up. And yeah, my pleasure, Jack. Anytime. And if anyone's got a question, any last questions that you'd like to ask, go ahead and let me know. It could be about anything. It could be music related. It could be about some of these other topics we've been talking about, travel and exciting thrills like hang glide, or not. Well, I haven't said hang gliding, but skydiving, that kind of thing. It could be about movies. Skateboarding, video games, some of your interests. Ray, I might ask you, I'm still kind of getting to know you a little bit. What are some things you like to do for fun? What are some things that you enjoy doing? And what kind of stuff are you into? Be curious to hear that, to hear about that. I don't know if any of you guys are gamers or not, but last night I didn't have internet at my house, and so. So I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to play a video game. And I very much like, when I play video games, I like narrative-based games. So I like to play a game. I like to play through the story. And once I beat a game, I like to move on and experience another story. It's kind of like a little adventure. And so I was looking for a new game to play. I had recently beat an old PS1 game called Dino Crisis, and it was great. It's a survival horror game with dinosaurs, and I love it. It's awesome. But I beat that, so I was looking for something new to play, and by new, I mean like, just replay. I was kind of looking at my collection of games, and I've started playing Shadow of the Colossus, which I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it's a very highly regarded PS2 game, and I've played it before. It's a great one. I haven't played it in a long time, and so I just started playing that last night, and that's a fun one. First off, the music in that game is beautiful. Like after playing it, like just hearing that music, I was like, okay, I'm gonna add that soundtrack to a YouTube playlist. It was like a good reminder. Like I need to add that soundtrack to my YouTube playlist. So that was one, but then two. The game's a lot of fun. It's just a, I don't know. It's such a unique game, such a unique experience, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with that game, but that's something new that I have started. We had a question here from Jack asking, did you ever try to choreograph an action scene? And as you were saying that, I was looking it up. Yes, I have. There's a couple things. I'll tell you what, I'm going to share 2 links with you real quick. So I was looking it up. So I used to do a whole lot more filmmaking back in the early 2010s, like the late 2000s, early 2010s. I did a lot more filmmaking, and this was back when, first off, just coming out of high school, I had more time to explore my interests. I did everything. I did music. I did skateboarding. I did actually I didn't do a whole lot of skateboarding, to be honest, at that time. I got into it again later. That's another story. But anyway, did a lot of music. Did a lot of movie making. Those were kind of the main 2 things, and a bunch of other stuff. But as it came time to kind of figuring out what I wanted to do with my life, I realized I couldn't chase it all at once. I needed to focus on something specific. I needed to focus on something to obtain. And I decided to pick music over filmmaking because you can do filmmaking by yourself, but filmmaking is very much a collaborative effort. I felt like I had a better chance in music by myself than I did with filmmaking by myself. And so I chose music. Music's what I decided to focus on. But I still love filmmaking. So anyway, I say that to say that if you'd like to see any of the short films that I made back in the day, I'm going to share 2 lists. I've got a list of a bunch of. Actually, I'm not sure. I might have to share that later if I can find it. I think I made a playlist of all my, all my short films and stuff. But I'll share a couple. But I had a friend who helped me do a fight scene. I'm going to post that right now. So there's a link. That's a fight scene that we did. And I actually watched it recently. It came out pretty good. I could totally do a better job now. so I could definitely be a hard critic on myself. I know I could do a better job now. But, it's still, I'm still pleased with it. It was just a fun fight scene that we shot in a back alley. And it came out good. One mistake I made that I will point out is I wore jeans, and they were not like the flex fit jeans, so some of the kicks don't come out very good because I was restricted with the jeans. But that's one. And let me see here. There's another one. Actually, one of my most popular YouTube videos is a short film I made. It's kind of funny. There's a short film I made called The Initiation, and this was the last short film I made before I decided to commit to music. I made this film. And then after this, I was like, you know what? I think I got to let go of filmmaking. I'm just going to focus on music. And then this ended up becoming one of my most popular videos on YouTube. And people are like, when are you going to make another short film? And I'm like, you guys got to stop doing this to me. It seems like every time I give up on something, or I shouldn't say give up, but every time I let go of something, then it starts getting recognition. And it's like, I've already committed to something else, So now I'm kind of trying to just like stick to my guns and just stay committed to something and not move on to something else just yet. I do hope sometime in the future to return to filmmaking. I'm hoping to still do it. I love making movies, and I'm hoping I'll get to do that. And that's why a lot of times whenever I shoot a music video, I will oftentimes, music videos are really tough to do, but they're also super satisfying. Like, and when I say music video, I mean like telling a story, like actually, it's kind of like my way to sort of scratch that filmmaker's itch. So if you've ever seen like my music videos for my songs, Waking Up or Hard Goodbyes, or even For You, that's another song. A lot of those videos, they're like little short films, just for my music. And so they're a lot of fun to do. The hard thing is they're hard to make, it's like, it's really, really tricky to do. So, yeah. So anyway, but yeah, you'll have to, if you go to my channel and you just search like short films, you should be able to come across like some movies. You can even find like old homemade videos that I made with my friends. Like they're awful, but they're fun. Like it was just like an old video camera, and me and my friends had so much fun making those. So I look back at those times with very pleasantly. They're so good. But yeah, Ray says the basics: fishing, camping, etc. I'm a small-time gamer, and of course, work on music. Yep, music's the big one. And but yeah, fishing, camping, that's great. I think my family recently went fishing. I'm not much of a fisher myself. Camping's okay. I'm not the best sleeper, so like I don't know how well I could do camping. But I remember going camping when I was younger, and always enjoying that with my friends and my dad and stuff. Would be cool though. And Daniel says Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games. A beautiful game. Yeah, it's great. It's a masterpiece. And so I'm already loving it. Like I just started. I've played it before, but it's been so long since I played it, and so revisiting it, it's just like it just feels good. It's just like, man, this is a good one to revisit. So I'm already just loving getting back into that. Ray says I like games like Icarus and Valheim. As well as The Sims, etc. Used to be big into EverQuest and WoW back in the day. Now, I don't think it was EverQuest, but there was I think Champions of Norath. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I think that was made by the same people who made EverQuest. It might be. It might be totally something different, but I definitely liked that kind of game, that kind of RPG and stuff. So it sounds like you like a lot of kind of, I don't know if open world is the right word for it, but kind of that open, like, creativity, like you kind of get to make it, experience kind of stuff. And, it's funny. I definitely enjoy those games, but I almost, like, I don't know if you ever played, like, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion or Skyrim, but I remember playing Oblivion. Like, I loved that game. It was so good, but it's almost not good for me because you can almost live another life in that game. Like there's so much to do. You get to embody this character, and there's so many side quests and so much area to explore, and there's just so much to do. It's like such a huge game, and it's like, dude, I could literally spend all my time doing this if I wasn't careful. So I remember actually selling that game. Like I loved it. But it was kind of more for like my well-being, to do that. And so that's why when it comes to games, like I like more of a narrative. I like a beginning and an end. I like going on this adventure, and once it's over, it's like, I can put that one on the shelf and then grab another game and enjoy a different experience rather than just playing the same game over and over again. But definitely some good stuff you're picking there. Daniel says, Link Jack, your one skit with the snowman. Okay, yeah, I'll try to find that one real quick. Yeah, I did make I had a buddy who helped me with short films and stuff, and we had one, it snowed, and so we had a chance to, I think we had to plan for it. I think like we were like, hey, if it snows, I'm not sure what inspired this, but I'm pretty sure we had to plan in advance. Like, hey, if it snows, let's come up with a movie idea that we can do. And so we came up with this little scene. It's kind of like a, it's a comedy, but it's kind of, it's supposed to be like an intense negotiation scene, like you're trying to get something back from this character. And one second, I'm trying to find it. It was called Deal or Snow Deal. And so it's like this, my character is like, trying to make an exchange to get, yeah, I found it. All right. You'll see. My character is making this exchange to get something. I'm making a deal with a snowman, but all the snowman and all his henchmen, or the bad guy and all his henchmen, they're all snowmen. We just built them as snowmen, and so this action scene kind of unfolds with that. So yeah, that was kind of a funny one. I will say this. So this particular scene was this one's a comedy, and I do enjoy doing comedy. But the funny thing is, comedy was always kind of comedy was always a way for me to hide like what I really wanted to do. Again, my favorite genre is action adventure, and I was always so scared of making action movies that wouldn't be taken seriously. Ray says, "Wait, you buying drugs from a snowman?" Not that kind of exchange, but you basically like a drug deal. But rather than drugs, I'm trying to think. There really wasn't anything clear. It was like I think I was giving him a briefcase for something. Like I think it was money, and I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't remember. So yes, a drug deal, but no, not drugs. So, but essentially that kind of scenario. But let's see here. It was, I was just worried about making action movies that wouldn't be taken seriously. And so a lot of times I would make action comedy. And the comedy was kind of a way of like, I would try to do something cool, but then like I had something funny. So it's like, see, we're not, it's nothing serious, it's supposed to be funny, but it was kind of more of like a insecurity. And then, but my favorite films are definitely the ones that, that were a bit more kind of serious and I still enjoy a lot of the comedy stuff that we made, but again, like The Initiation is definitely one of my favorites that I've made, and it was just nice, like I don't know, it was just nice to make something and people were like, wow, this is really good, and it wasn't like people are like, this is lame or this is corny or something like that, so yeah, it was just kind of nice. Let's see here, trying to catch up, trying to comment on a lot of stuff here. Jack says, sure, sounds like it would be cool. Talking about the film, I'm guessing. Ray was saying, I didn't get into music seriously till I got fired from my job and had nothing but time to work on my music. That would probably do it. It's like if when those loose ends are kind of cut off and you're sort of like, well, I don't really have anywhere else to go. I'll invest my time and my efforts into this. And so I think music's definitely a great thing to kind of put that into. And then Jack says, that's always the way it is, isn't it? And yep, you're right. It's pretty much the moment you kind of step away from something, that's when it starts getting recognition. It's like, I just started committing to this other thing. It's like, so yeah, try to learn from doing that. I've gone in circles a lot, like, kind of pursuing one thing and then something else. And so now I'm trying to kind of, stick to my guns and be positive with something. Ray said, had my channel for 10 years, but only the past 6 months or less have I really invested my time into it. And yeah, that definitely, that makes a difference. It's like, you can have like a channel sort of casually, but it's like, as you invest into it, as you start making content and start trying to connect with other people, that's when you start really getting that engagement and seeing stuff happen. And then, yeah, sounds like, Champions of Norath was a spinoff of EverQuest. Yep, RPG, building, crafting stuff. Well, EverQuest and WoW being what is that? I know what WoW stands for. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I know what it is. Like I can literally see like the characters in my head, but World of Warcraft. That's it. I knew World was in there. Just couldn't remember. World of Warcraft. I simply got tired of paying a monthly fee, as well as buying any expansion they made. It's like, yeah, it's like that stuff, you could just keep playing that forever. Now I just stick to any free games or just buy once game. Yep. Gotcha. Let's see here. LOL, cool. That is where my funny side shows through, is when I'm not sure or comfortable with something, I try to make jokes. Although many times people find hate instead of comedy in my stuff. Okay, I see. Kind of hate the comedy. Yeah, I've dealt with that too. I think especially as an artist, when you're writing, whether you're writing a song or making a movie or whatever it might be, the whole point of art is kind of expressing yourself and expressing like a vision that you have. And I think we get inspired by things that connected with us, things that resonated with us, Like for me, it was certain action movies and it's like, man, that is so cool. Like I want to do that, And same thing with music, music that was just like emotional and powerful. It's like, I want to do that. But of course, we've seen it before where people try to do that. People try to make an action scene, but it just comes off as corny, and, or people try to write this really emotional, powerful song. But again, it just kind of comes off as corny and cheesy. And, I've tried to wonder, like, why is that the case? Like, what makes something corny or cheesy? And I think because of that, like whenever you make something as an artist, like you're putting yourself out, you're literally putting yourself out there. It's an expression of yourself, and that's such a vulnerable thing to do. It's when you're putting yourself out there for other people to see and for people to potentially criticize. Like that's such a vulnerable place to be. So that's a very scary place to be. And, for people not to take it seriously, it hurts, and it's like, but I want it to be taken seriously. And so I think it's so easy to kind of hide behind something like comedy, to sort of use it to hide our insecurities. And I certainly did that for a while. And, the best thing I can suggest is, I think anything that you make, it's kind of a balance of things. You have to, be honest with yourself with what it is, but I think you have to be genuine with what you're making too. I think sometimes people, and that's the key word there is genuine. I think sometimes people try to be genuine. You can't try to be genuine. You have to be genuine. There's a difference between trying and being. And I think sometimes when people try, like they're trying to make something powerful. They're trying to be honest with their lyrics, but they're still trying. They're still writing, what they think is going to be powerful, what they think will be effective. And I think it ends up coming off as more of an impression. Like it's more like you're trying to I'm trying to blank on the words here, but you're trying to manufacture something, or you're trying to present yourself as something that you want to be, but you're not actually being that thing, if that makes sense. Where I found that if you just kind of choose to be honest, and then you take a look at it and try to assess, like, is this really saying what I want to say, or is this, just some kind of, polished, kind of fancified version of what I'm trying to say. And so when you can really be genuine and honest with what you're doing, and while also being objective about, like, is it actually good or not, I think that's when you get better in the terrain of, like, okay, now this is coming out as something solid and something good. And that's when, that's when it's going to connect with people, and people are like, hey, this is actually good, rather than, people, being worried about people criticizing stuff. Ray says, BRB, wife needs me for something. Totally understandable. Hannah, good to have you back. We were just talking, I don't know, we've been talking about it a lot, kind of catching up with a lot of things. People were kind of asking about some of my short films, which, Hannah, I know you like movies and stuff. I don't know if you've seen some of my short films, but if a lot of my older content on my YouTube channel, I made a lot of short films. So, like, if you go to my channel and you look up short film, you can find a bunch of the movies I made. Some of probably my favorite ones, I was sharing a fight scene that Jack was asking about. There's some links if you scroll back up. And I made one called The Initiation that turned out pretty good. But we were talking about how sometimes you can use comedy to sort of hide behind insecurity, like being afraid of not being taken seriously. And so, doing something funny just to sort of cover up the fact that you actually want to do something heartfelt and serious. So it sort of took me time to kind of learn how to do that, how to be honest, just make what I want to make, and to be confident enough in my ability to say that, I think this is pretty good. Like, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think it's good enough, and I think it gets my point across, and you have to just make stuff to get better, And that's the last thing I'll say is, as far as insecurities come, that's another thing I've learned is whatever you make, it's not going to connect with everyone. you know? And that's just the reality. That's just how art is. Like, no matter how good something is that you do, there's always going to be people out there who don't like it or don't connect with it. And even more so, I think the people who go out of their way to hate on stuff, you know, I don't think you have to listen to that stuff because, like, what kind of person do you have to be to comment on something that somebody else made and just take the time and be like, yeah, this sucks. You know, like, what kind of person do you have to be to take time to do that? You know, that's kind of what I remind myself. So, like, you know, anytime I receive some kind of criticism, it depends. You know, there's a difference between someone like, not bad, but I think you could improve this. You know, that's somebody sharing a critique. That's different than somebody just flat out expressing something that, you know, they don't like of yours. And to be honest, I think you have to just take a second and ask yourself, well, what do you think? You know, if this person says it sucks, do you think that? You know, because I've written songs and there's been other people who say that that song means a lot to them. And so that's what I believe. I believe, you know, if that person thinks it sucks, well, I don't care. I disagree. You know, I think it's pretty good. And I know for a fact that there's someone else who connects with this. So that's the thing you have to remember. Whatever art you're making, it's not going to connect with everyone, and it doesn't have to. All that matters are the few people that do connect with it. Exactly, Daniel. I ignore the dislikes, and it's true. You know, even me, like when I watch something, even if I dislike something, I don't hit the dislike button because to me that's just such a waste of time. Like, I understand, like, hey, if I don't like it, you know, it's just not for me. You know, but there's other people who do like it, so I'm not going to be the party pooper and like go out of my way to dislike something or to hate on something. And so, you know, if ever someone does dislike something, if anything, it's probably a sign that you're doing something good, you know, because it could be, you know, I don't like to use this example. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, they're just jealous, although that's probably true. It's probably true that sometimes they might be jealous or they're just, you know, they're mad that you're doing something that they want to do and they're not actually putting in the effort to do it themselves. So it's a lot easier just to hate on something than to, you know, be better yourself, you know? So, no worries, Ray. Glad you could come back. But yeah, so that's what I would say is like, whatever art you're making, it's not going to connect with everyone, and that's okay. All that matters are the few people that it does, because it's amazing what that does mean to somebody, you know? Like, when you do make something and it really does connect with someone, like, it's just, that's all that matters. It's like, that means so much more than, you know, like, I don't need the world to like my music. I just need like those few people that are like, hey, that song that you wrote really means something to me. And it's like, that's all I need. You know, that's the greatest feeling in the world, really. You know? Yeah, just catching up with some stuff. Yeah. I don't think I read this earlier. Yeah, my wife says I'm very funny at times, although sometimes I just fall on my face and people get really angry with my jokes and stuff. So, yeah, it's like that could be the case. And I know, you know, if you're certainly trying to tell jokes, then I know some people going in the realm of comedy, you do play with the fact of the potential of angering people with comedy and stuff. There's a very fine line there of being funny or just, you know, annoying somebody. Wife had some somewhat good news, although I'm not gonna bog y'all down with our issues. Well, I hope everything's all right, and I do hope it is good news. I hope things are going well. Let's see here. Daniel said that's true. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yep, that's some good advice from man. What is that from? It's an old Disney movie. I can hear the little character saying it. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I don't know if is it Robin Hood or is it, I'm not sure. It's an old Disney film. I'm pretty sure there's a little character that says that. Sean, thanks for tuning in. Saves the day, shoulder. Glad you could tune in. I think maybe it is Bambi. Yeah, you know what? I think it is Bambi. I think it's a little rabbit that says it. Yep. What I will let you know, we have more time to work through our issues. Well, I'm glad you have more time to. Sean was saying Pinocchio. Maybe it is Pinocchio. I think it's Bambi, but you know, could be. You know, maybe they say it in Pinocchio also. I'm not really sure. All right. Well, guys, I have enjoyed this. Yeah, the rabbit. Yeah, the rabbit from Bambi, I think is who says it. But I think we are going to be wrapping things up, but I'm going to play one more song for you guys. I'm scrolling back. I can't remember if someone made a request. If anyone has a request, you can find my song list in the description, so just let me know what song of mine you'd like me to play, and I will play it for you. Yeah, so if you'd like to make a request, there's in the description, there's a list of songs, and just let me know which song you'd like to hear, and I will play it for you. Scrolling back up just to see if there was a request before I started. I'm sorry, just trying to catch up here. And if anyone has any last questions, this has been a Q&A, so if anyone anything you're curious about, any questions you'd like to ask, just let me know, and I will do my best to answer it for you. Let's see here. And yeah, if you scroll back up, there's some links to some videos, some old short films that I'd made, so. All right, cool. So, yep, Ray says, okay, Quincy, thanks for the show, and I will see you soon, man. I plan to be at tomorrow night's block party at Conspiracies. That's cool. I'll certainly try to swing by for that if I can. It's awesome how much... I think it's just cool, like so many other people who are live streaming, and it's hard to be able to attend them all, but it's like I found that a lot of time if they happen around mealtime, just to be able to kind of stop by for a little bit, like I'm just preparing food. It's really nice just to attend the stream and just kind of see what everyone's got going on. So that's awesome. I'll try to slip by if I can. I appreciate you tuning into the stream. Hopefully I can play one more song here. Before you have to head out. Let's see. Jack says, great stream, Quincy. Looking forward to next week, and I'll comment on your films. No hate, I promise. Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy them. Keep in mind, yeah, they are older films. Like, I did them back in, 2010, so I'm sure I could do much better. And Sean, you're right. It was Thumper. Thumper was the little rabbit that says it. It is, but till this next Thursday, all I have is time. Well, great. Well, glad you've got time. I mean, hey, at least you got time to kind of to hang out and appreciate some music. A few last things to say. If anyone's got a request, go ahead, let me know what song you'd like to hear that I can close this out with, and I'll let you know. One last thing I will share. I'm going to share this link one more time. If you'd like to support me, I have a chance in meeting Tony Hawk. So if you haven't voted for me yet, there's a link right there. And, the vote is free. It takes less than a minute. And I could use all the votes I can get. I have made it to the quarterfinals. I'm certainly grateful to be there. And it's a tough battle. I'm in fourth place right now. Kind of been holding fourth pretty good, but trying to work my way up to first. So I could definitely use some support. Going back to work Thursday, so that is good news as well. I'm glad to hear it. We started the fire. Now, when you say we started the fire, I don't know if you're commenting something or if that's a song. Just to clarify, I have a list of songs that I can play. Voted again. Thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. Appreciate the support. So yeah, I think we're going to be wrapping things up in just a moment. I might pick a song. If no one has a request, I might play. I got a song here. I might play this one for y'all if we don't get a request in the next moment here. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. I will say this. Let me just share a few things with you, and then I will play this last song if we don't get a request. So. First off, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you all watching. If you'd like to support me in my music, the song list is in the description. So you should be able to, if you can see the description of the video, you should be able to select that, and you should see a list of songs. Now, for those of you, if you're watching on mobile, can you find the description? Do you see where under the video you should be able to hit like see more or something, and you can see that's where all the info for the video is, and that's where you should be able to see the song list. If you're not able to see that, I might try to tweak that somehow where I can have it in the chat instead. But yeah, should be just under the video in the description there. But for anyone who would like to support me, so that I can keep bringing you bigger and better content, and so that I can keep doing this, and I have a link here for a virtual tip jar, and so I certainly appreciate any support that you can provide. It definitely helps me out and helps me to keep doing this. If you'd like to stay notified, so that anytime I release a song. In fact, this helps me. My biggest goal right now is building an audience. So, if you'd like to stay in touch with everything I'm doing, anything I'm doing, whenever I release a new song, new videos, whenever I go live, you can join my email list. That's what the second link is. So, Sean, I'll go ahead and play Into the Unknown. I actually played this one earlier, but you weren't here, so I'm going to play it again just for you. I know some of you have heard me play this, but yeah, this is my cover of the song from Frozen 2. So I released this, I think a couple years ago, something like that. And yeah, I've actually played this song earlier, but this one goes out to you, Sean. I appreciate you tuning in, so I'm going to play this song just for you. All right, this is Into the Unknown. This one goes out to you, Sean, and to anyone else who is venturing into the unknown. I wish the best for you. Wish you good luck and hope that you succeed and everything that you're pursuing. Here we go, Into the Unknown.
I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't. There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear. And everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, and I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me? Who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. Whoa, are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? Are you going? Don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown?
Thank you. Again, that one was Into the Unknown. And that song is available on Spotify, Apple Music, all that stuff. So. All right, we'll catch up with the chat, and then I think we're going to put a wrap on all this. So let's see here. Cheers, Ray. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, appreciate you, and hope you have a good rest of the week. Ray says, LOL, I need to integrate my tip jar donate button from Twitch to YouTube, but not sure how to yet. The best I've been able to do it so far is just with PayPal. It's just a link to PayPal and kind of allows people to do that. I might have some other ways of doing that soon, but we'll see. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate that. Daniel says, thanks for the tunes. Have a good night. You too, Daniel. Always appreciate you stopping by. Hope you have a great rest of the week. Isaiah asks, why don't you have any reverb or compression or delay on your vocals? I'm pretty sure I do, actually. Maybe it's not very loud. I might need to turn it up. But if I go back to that, hey, check 1, 2. Whoa! You know? And a couple things, too. Singing live, I'm experimenting with this. I was actually trying it today, so I'll have to watch back. But I think sometimes I sing a little too close to the mic. I'm so used to being this close, and I don't have, like, maybe I don't have enough compression on it for that. And so I've actually been trying. I'm going to take that off. I'm actually trying to sing away from the mic a little bit in hopes that maybe it's a bit more consistent, especially because I do have some compression on there, but I wonder if, maybe going into the signal a little less heavy, I think it's a bit more plosive, when you're really close to the mic. So going off, it might just give a little more consistency to the vocals and might smooth them out so they don't quite come out so carved and stuff. But if that is kind of a suggestion that that there could be a bit more delay or something, well, then thanks for the feedback. I'll try to improve that, and I try not to overdo it because I don't want it to be too muddy or anything like that. But I'll try. And again, as far as like compression goes, there actually is some compression, but vocals require a lot of compression, and it's a lot easier to process vocals like after they've been recorded. When you're doing live, I do the best I can, but I might not even have quite the gear for it and stuff. So that's why I could use the support. But yeah, I'll see if I can add. Maybe I'll have to see if I can work on my delay and get that coming through a little louder on my performances. Ray says, must be nice. LOL. I don't have Spotify or any distribution service. I think, again, like I said, I think self-promo only. I think PayPal is pretty simple. There's actually this really interesting service as far as... well, actually, sorry, if you're asking about distribution for music, the best thing I can suggest is... what is it? DistroKid. So DistroKid is the service I use. It's only like $20 a year, which is like less than $2 a month or something. So it's really good. But DistroKid is like super simple. Like when you have a plan with them, all you do, you just upload your music, you upload an album cover, and then they take care of the rest. They distribute it to Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that stuff, like over 25 different platforms. And yeah, they pretty much make it easy, and they kind of give you some resources like to promote your music. They give you like some pretty simple stuff to just to post on like Instagram or social media, just different, some pretty cool resources to promote your music. And if you do end up getting a lot of listeners on Spotify, they actually collect your royalties too, so you can withdraw your earnings from them and stuff. So it's a pretty great service. Yeah, well, you should look into it, and I will say this, check it out, and I'm actually going to give you a link, because here's something else. DistroKid has an affiliate program, so I just posted a link. So, DistroKid, they want more people to use their service, and so for people who do use DistroKid, like me, if I share this link and you use it, you can actually get 7% off with DistroKid, and I'll get $10. So it's pretty cool. So, look into them first, try it out, see if it looks like something you would use. And if it is, try the link. You'll get 7% off, and you'll be helping me out too. So that'd be cool. But I can say I've been super pleased with DistroKid. Probably my biggest recommendation, like if you are looking into a distribution service, I'd say just, make sure you can be consistent with releasing songs. I'd say if you can release at least 4 songs a year, that's like 1 song every quarter. If you can at least release that much, then I'd say it's worthwhile. I'd say it's worth going with some kind of distribution plan like DistroKid and starting to put your music out there. Now, ideally, you want to do more than that. Ideally, you want to release music as frequently as you can. And I know that's tough. It's hard for me too. I'm trying to do it too. But yeah, it's definitely it's a good service. So as long as you feel like you're ready for something like that, I can highly recommend DistroKid. Let's see here. Catching through. See you, Sean. Hope you have a good rest of the week. Jack, thank you so much. Says, just gave a tip, not much, but I hope you can get coffee or two. Well, thank you. I'll probably actually, I kind of budget my money, so I'll probably put it into, saving up for musical and marketing expenses. But hey, anything helps. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little bit helps, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. It means a lot, man. Thank you so much. Ray says, LOL, I'm trying to get used to singing with an NYXL 990 condenser mic instead of a Radio Shack Optimus dynamic mic. Yeah, I imagine that would be a world of difference. Having a good mic definitely makes a difference. Something to need to look into, so cool. Are you really releasing songs? Well, I will say, I mean, I don't know. So here's the thing. When I do say song release, I do mean, like a finished, mix and stuff. Like, because, writing songs, yeah, you can write songs all the time and like it can be finished. But, the recording quality, it's kind of up to you. If, you can write a song and record it and like, just be whatever quality it is when it comes out, like that's fine. But, for me, I find that usually when I'm releasing a song, there's a little more that goes into it. Like a song release is more than just releasing the song because one, it also depends on your genre. Like, I don't know if I'm totally sure what genre you do, but like, if it's just like, if it's just vocals and guitar, like acoustic guitar, then yeah, that's pretty great because all you have to do is just record the guitar, record the vocals. Pretty easy to produce, pretty easy to get it out there. For my style, for my style with metal, there's a lot that goes into it because I got to write the song, I got to record the guitars, got to program the drums and the bass, got to program the vocals, and I have to practice this stuff too because it's not easy to play. And then once I've done that, I've got to mix it. And I'm trying, I'm always trying to improve the quality of my mixes. So trying to get it to like a good professional quality, not just like, oh, here's a demo, like I don't want that like it's really not hard to mix a song, but to like really have that high professional quality does take a little extra work. And then even when the song's done, I still got to make an album cover for it. And then I got to shoot a video for it. Usually when you release a song, video is the way to promote it, make a video for it. And then once you've done that, then you've got to market it. So you've got to make shorts, kind of post everywhere, help create more ways for people to find your song, so there's a lot that goes into it. So, so that's kind of what I mean. It's like, and he says, yeah, I'm talking finished. My final mix down, some are shabby cause I am rushing it, but I'm learning to be patient, till I'm truly happy with it, to the point I can play the song live, before it's ever released. That's the cool thing too. I can say I'm actually working on a new song right now. And that's the nice thing is like when the song's done, you can start playing it live. Like you don't have to wait to release the song before you can play it live. You can just, start playing it. So that's the cool thing. So that's one thing I'm excited about. I'm working on a new song. And so I'm so excited to just like, be like, hey guys, I've got a new song, because some of my regular viewers are probably pretty familiar with most of my catalog right now. So I'm ready to bring something new to them. But just because I'm able to perform it live doesn't mean it's ready to be released yet. Usually when I play it live, the backing track will be kind of more of a demo version. And then later, once I've released the song, I'll update it to a more finished mix. Yep. It's all just part of growing with experience. The more you do it, the more you learn and you kind of get it. But that's awesome. But yeah, if you have a way, if you're getting songs done and being able to release them pretty quickly, then yeah, and especially if you're like, hey, this is done, I'm ready to put this on Spotify and other platforms, then yeah, definitely looking into a distribution service like DistroKid would be good. So. But Ray, yeah, I hope that helps out. I've enjoyed chatting with you about it. Says, I'm planning to play my new song live at the blog party tomorrow. Awesome. I hope I can catch that. I'll definitely, like I said, I'm going to try to tune in. Fridays can be a little busy for me, but hopefully I can tune in. I'll try my best to swing by, and I hope I get to hear your song. Worst case, I'll try to check out the replay, and I'll try to skim through and at least find your song. So looking forward to that. but yeah, glad that helps, man. I've enjoyed talking to you about it. So maybe some other time, maybe on another stream, we can we can chat a little bit more. I can certainly share with you. I'm still learning too, but I've learned a lot. There's a lot I've learned that if I were to go back, it's like I would tell myself like, hey, do this, don't do that, so we'll see. But I appreciate you tuning in. Anyone else watching now or on the replay, I appreciate you all tuning in. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening or morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Until next time.